ones of a service person killed in battle in a distant battlefield, as was the case with Sergeant Johnson. And then there's this from Joy Reid, the interviewer there with Frederica Wilson over the weekend. Remember, I read that comment from Larry O'Donnell.
Oh, yeah.
About how General Kelly's remarks on Thursday at that just mesmerizing press conference were represented an attack on women. Joyanne Reid doubled and tripled down, as she's wont to do. Kelly grew up in segregated Boston in an Irish Catholic neighborhood where women were bullied, not honored, and blacks scorned and rejected.
Did she not listen to his words when he said nothing is sacred anymore? Mm-hmm. Women used to be sacred.
So, all you ethnic types in the 19th Ward in Chicago, in Mount Greenwood, you hearing this? Kelly grew up in a segregated Boston in an Irish Catholic neighborhood where women were bullied, not honored, and blacks scorned and rejected. I'm sure there's some truth to that. I'm sure there's some truth to that to this day in neighborhoods of all kinds of composition. But the implication that the kind of neighborhood General Kelly grew up in is representative of General Kelly? Do you agree with that? How about that little
nugget of information, or accusation she made against him?
Yeah, it's a feeble attempt at guilt by association. He's a product of this segregated neighborhood where women weren't honored. So what? So he's a segregationist and he doesn't honor women? I mean, I'd like to have a follow-up question with Joyanne Reid so I could understand the specifics of her point here with respect to the neighborhood in which Kelly was raised.
And a program note, this morning, Maisha Johnson, Sergeant David Johnson's widow, is going to appear on Good Morning America to talk about her late husband. He was laid to rest on Saturday.
Right.
And also the phone call that she received from President Trump. So, yes, this is not going away.
Well, and so back to this Gold Star widow, Natasha D'Alankar. Her husband of 15 years, Army Staff Sergeant Mark D'Alankar, was killed in Afghanistan in April during a firefight with ISIS. He was a member of the 7th Special Forces Group. She released about a 3-minute video of the phone call that she received from President Trump. Here's a sample of it.
Natasha?
Yes, sir.
I am so sorry to hear about the whole situation. What a horrible thing, except that he's an unbelievable hero. And, you know, all of the people that served with him are saying how incredible he was.
Yes, sir.
And just an amazing guy. And he's a great hero.
I want to thank you, President Trump. Those words are very kind. He was an amazing man, an amazing husband, and an amazing soldier. And I couldn't be more proud of my husband than I am right now, sir, to be honest with you. It's what my husband wanted to do. Yeah.
Everyone told me how great. I mean, he was the leader, he was the boss, he was their friend. They all loved him, you know, just like you do. I mean, it's just a special guy. Go ahead, Natasha.
Yes, he's just an all-around guy, and I'm glad that you got to know a little bit about him and get to hear a little bit about him, sir. My husband is, to me, he was already my hero, to be honest with you. We've been together 15 years, 5 children. Run down real quick, 2017, 15, 12, and 4. My son is currently in college in Missouri playing football. So when I say all around a hero, yes. And but now it's like the world gets to know he is an American hero. So thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I really do, sir. Thank you.
That's so amazing. It's so amazing. And I'll tell you, when you're around, if you could, you know the people to deal with, but if you're around Washington, you come over and see me at the Oval Office, okay?
Yes, sir.
You just come over and see me because you are just the kind of family. This is what we want. And how good a football player is your son at Missouri? He's got to be pretty good. That's a good team, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. He's cornerback. He's been playing since he was 5, and he got a full academic scholarship when we were stationed in Hawaii, Schofield Barracks, sir. So it's his life. That's what he always wants to do. He's doing it, sir. He's making me proud, and he's making his father proud in heaven. So I have no complaints. I really don't. I'm a proud woman.
And so it went on from there where he
Aw.
continued speaking with her about her other kids for a minute before the call ended. So that's a sample of it. And so why does it have to be political? I assume that, and I mean, I haven't heard calls, but I assume when President Obama called family members of someone killed in battle, one of the soldiers, one of their family members killed in battle, it was a similar conversation.
Yeah.
The presumption is the President of the United States is going to call to console. But for some reason, President Trump isn't given the benefit of the doubt, and there's really no evidence to suggest that he shouldn't be. In fact, thanks to Natasha de Alencar, in part, there's a lot of evidence to suggest he should be. She explained why she posted the video, why she released that. She said, I just decided since the question was being asked, there was no way of better seeing it than showing it. I posted that video so that everyone could see that not only myself, not only my family, not only the people gave support, but the commander-in-chief also helped.
And she's African American, and de Alencar is Hispanic.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing that out because.
Well, right. I mean,
Because Wilson seems to be.
Right. I mean,
there's some race implication in there somehow, some way.
Well, it's right. The layer, right? So it's the politicization, number one, just kind of the anti-Trump disposition, and then you add the racial element to it that is played whenever it can be by the left. So you're right to point that out. And by the way, that's not to say that Frederica Wilson, when she says, I want to know what happened to Sergeant Johnson and his brothers in arms, I want to know why he was separated from the others. I want to know why it took 2 days to locate his body, if that's even true. I haven't seen a timeline from AFRICOM, U.S. Command in Africa, on the topic, but I'm interested in that too.
I'm interested in why they were there in the first place. Did you hear the details of what happened? They went with some village leader to his tribal area, and all the people there, all the soldiers and the Green Berets, are getting restless because 2 guys on motorcycles plowed through the village, and they wanted to wrap this up. They wanted to get out of there. And the chief seemed to be prolonging the conversation.
It was
and
an
they're
ambush.
like, we got to go. And then they got ambushed, but their vehicles weren't armored. There's no air support in the sky. And it was a 30-minute plus shootout before the French forces came in their airplane to try and help them.
Well, understand that there's a Boko Haram splinter group, or a splinter of Boko Haram, I guess is a better way to put it, that is affiliated with ISIS in Niger.
And they were armed to the teeth.
So yes, but all of those questions are legitimate, and we should get answers to them. No, there's no question about it. And I'll demand answers and call for answers, and I'm interested in answers, just as Representative Wilson is. But to make accusations based on things you don't know, rather than just simply ask questions, and then to engage in all of this that has come, including the silliness of suggesting that General Kelly owes her or anybody else an apology for what he said on Thursday. It's just exacerbating it. And by the way, again, another example, Joyanne Reed with her intemperate tweets, the racist insinuations, and Frederica Wilson with her unhinged, no justice, no peace, Maxine quality rhetoric, just helping Trump.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Ever wonder how marketing got so complicated? When you're a large company with a national presence, you expect things like the execution of marketing materials, displays, and branded merchandise to just work. But marketing departments are buried in figuring out how to get displays to stores while fielding calls from frustrated customers and salespeople, instead of focusing on the next big idea to stay ahead of the curve. It's tough to grow a business that way. Madden has a different method. They take on the day-to-day project management, procurement, logistics, and customer service, letting your team focus on innovation. Madden is the expert in promotional marketing and merchandising. They take the most complex campaigns and make them simple to execute and manage. And it can save you up to 35% in total process improvement for your marketing and supply chain. Get in touch with Madden today and make your complex promotions and marketing campaigns simple. It's time to get focused. All the info you need to get started is at Madden.com. Madden.com.
Hey, it's time for a little R&R, courtesy of ChicagoRadioDeals.com. Escape to Wisconsin with the overnight stay package for the Schuster Mansion Bed and Breakfast in Milwaukee. Spend the night in Molly's room, their 2-room luxury suite with a private bath. and concierge service. It includes breakfast in the Victorian dining room and fresh chocolate chip cookies. Yours for only $85 per couple. That's a $169 value. Hey, if you need to stay closer to home but want a night out, laugh out loud, and be a part of the show at Comedy Sports Improv, tickets are normally $44 a pair, but find them at chicagoradiodeals.com for only $22. Be sure to get your car ready for cruising with a deal from Fuller's Car Wash of Elk Grove. A full-service car wash package includes wash, vacuum, windows, and dash. An $18 deal for only $10. Fun and adventure is waiting for you only at chicagoradiodeals.com.
You've put off that new vehicle long enough. Now there's absolutely no excuse.
Get to Joe Cotton Ford during their model year-end sales event. They're making room for next year's models, and that means you'll save big.
You'll get the best rebate offers of the year and save hundreds to thousands on brand new 2017 Fords.
Plus, all new vehicles come with the Joe Cotton Ford Advantage program. You'll save on maintenance, vehicle protection, and more.
There's a reason generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to family-owned and operated Joe Cotton Ford. It's all about a different car buying experience with world-class customer service and people you can trust.
No hassles, no drama, and no high-pressure sales tactics now and for as long as you own your vehicle.
There's still a great selection during the Ford model year-end sales event, but hurry, it won't last.
Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, Joshi, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In his remarkable press conference, Trump Chief of Staff General John Kelly prompted reflection on that which was once sacred and should be, but no longer is. Women, the dignity of every life, religion, Gold Star families, selfless service to country, all once sacred, now not so much. General Kelly provided a timely reminder that civilization is not always advancing. The latest point in time is not necessarily the most enlightened. Societies can regress. The nature of man is immutable, thus edifying influences like faith, family, and work, and the responsibilities associated with each are necessary. Notions of duty and honor keep us from devolving into a Hobbesian state of nature. So what is sacred? The politician of all things makes state power sacred. Banning books and blocking speakers to protect feelings makes conceit sacred. In other words, the power to distribute other people's stuff and eliminate dissent has replaced what General Kelly described as sacred and what 4 Green Berets died on a distant battlefield to protect as sacred. If you believe their last full measure of devotion for your freedoms was sacred, then you might consider fighting to preserve them.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
Being complete layman at the whole home buying thing, we were just hoping we weren't going to get taken through the ringer for. You know, with you guys, we felt like we were a priority instead of just another number. We really did feel like we had your guys' personal touch. We could talk to Barry. I mean, you know, any way that it went, if we didn't get you on the phone, we knew that within 15 minutes we were getting a call or an email back. You guys held us by the hand so that we could finish the race, and you guys definitely got it done for us.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639, equal housing lender.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, here, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
5:57 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Rain and fog are slowing the commute. We see very few flight delays at O'Hare, just a few arrival issues. The Edens is good. Kennedy, 28 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 26. Heavy Lawrence to the airport. Westbound 190. Stop and go traffic as well. River Road to Manhunt. The Eisenhower, 41 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 36. Stevenson, 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to the Loop. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 35. Traffic Service Farmers Insurance. As the road you travel changes, so do your insurance needs. Talking with a farmer's agent can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Find an agent at farmers.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Little morning rain, otherwise a mainly cloudy day, high 60. Tonight, periods of rain, breezy late at night, low 44. Tomorrow, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour with showers during the day, high 49. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 51 and rain showers at O'Hare. Next news update coming up at 6. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. Driving in the rain can be difficult. Almost as difficult as remembering that you need new wiper blades. And now that Trico Force wiper blades are $15 off per pair at Napa, driving isn't difficult at all. That's right, $15 off, quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. At 5:59, here are the stories we're following locally here on AM 560, The Answer. One man is dead after a driver intentionally rammed the victim into his pickup truck on Chicago's southwest side. 2 police officers are heroes after a disabled man was carried to safety, rescued from his burning home in Des Plaines. An investigation is underway following a 2-vehicle crash that injured 5 on Chicago's northwest side. Some Northwest Indiana residents want their community to secede from the township that it's located within. Bears over the Panthers 17-3 Sunday. Houston beat the Fire 3-0 in their regular season finale. Bulls back on the road facing the Cavaliers and Derrick Rose tomorrow night. More Dan and Amy after Fox. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says he sees tax cuts getting done by the end of the year. Live in D.C., let's go right to Fox's Rachel Sutherland.
Chris, the president wants lawmakers to clear the way for tax reform, telling the Fox Business Network
it'll be the biggest cuts ever in the history of this country.
White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney told Fox News Sunday he expects Congress to speed things ahead if the House adopts the Senate's budget plan as expected.
We may save as many as 10 or 12 legislative days, which is a big deal.
The president held a news conference call with House Republicans yesterday, warning them they could pay a steep price in the midterm elections if they don't get tax reform done. Chris.
Rachel, thanks. He spent 5 years as a Taliban prisoner in Afghanistan. Will he be a prisoner again? Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl's sentencing hearing starts today in North Carolina.
He walked off his post in 2009 and got himself captured. He pleaded guilty at Fort Bragg last week to charges of desertion and misbehaving before the enemy. It could send him to prison for life. 6 soldiers were killed in attempts to locate Bergdahl. Bergdahl insists he wasn't shirking his duty but got lost on his way to another base to report problems. He told the judge, however, it was inexcusable. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Islamic State terrorists driven from a town in Syria killed a lot of people on their way out. Here's Fox's Simon Owen.
Chris, activists monitoring the war in Syria say the bodies of at least 65 civilians have been found in a town called Al-Qaryatayn after it was recaptured by Syrian government forces. ISIS was only in control of the town for 3 weeks. The monitoring group saying it thought most of the victims were killed by ISIS fighters, the majority of them executed. And while the figure at the moment is 65, some reports put the death count at almost double that number. Chris?
Simon, a radio newswoman in Moscow has been stabbed in the neck by a man who burst into the station's studio. She's expected to be okay. That man's in custody. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. Only Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards. No other lender comes close to that level of client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage. It gives our clients a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online in minutes. No one else has anything like it. And our people. Each one of our 17,000-plus team members throughout Detroit, Cleveland, and Phoenix provides absolute client satisfaction each and every day. So why would you go anywhere else to get your mortgage? Go to America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. President Trump sat down with Maria Bartiromo from Fox Business News over the weekend. Wide-ranging interview covering a lot of topics. Top of the list, tax cuts. Where does tax reform stand? And here's what President Trump had to say.
It is tax reform also, but I call it tax cuts. It'll be the biggest cuts ever in the history of this country. And I think that there's tremendous appetite, there's tremendous spirit for it, not only by the people we're dealing with in Congress, but for the people out there that want to see something. $5,000, almost, it can be $5,000 average per individual, per group.
And this runs concurrent with an op-ed that the president posted to USA Today over the weekend. With tax reform, we can make it morning in America again. Reagan invocation. My plan will, jobs will grow, family incomes will rise. We'll make America great again. So Trump intersecting with Reagan, I guess. 31st anniversary of Reagan signing the Tax Reform Act of 86 into law over the weekend. And Trump suggests that his proposal be even bigger and better than that, as you heard, $5,000 in savings for middle-income families, as much as that. He also talked a little bit about how much has been done to defang and reduce the administrative state, and how much more he aims to do in that direction as well, which is part of it, as we've discussed with free market economists. It can't just be reduction in tax rates. You also have to attack the regulatory burdens that constrict capital formation and business creation and job growth. And so he's particularly focused on that. He also correspondingly discussed trade and where NAFTA negotiations stand and what he's willing to do with respect to his posture for free and fair trade.
We were taken advantage of by, I wouldn't say the companies so much, but by other countries. We were so badly taken advantage of. As you know, we're negotiating with NAFTA, and They have an election right now and lots of things, but at some point either NAFTA will be renegotiated so that it's fair to the United States, or it will be terminated. It's very simple. People think that's a very tough statement, but it will probably be renegotiated. But if it's not successfully renegotiated so it's fair for the United States, it will be terminated.
I like what you hear. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I like what I hear on the tax reform piece, generally speaking. On the trade, there's a bit of a concern, and the concern is to walk away from the free trade agreement without and or make it more protectionist and less free trade. Could have a real deleterious effect on growth, on all the things that reducing tax rates across the board and reducing regulations across the spectrum, all the positive impacts that would have could be blunted if you pursue protectionist trade policy. Let me put it in a state perspective.
Yes.
Mark Perry over at Carpe Diem blog had a nice write-up about the impact of trade on state economies, and note some of the states where trade is most important. I'm talking about foreign trade. Michigan, trade as a share as the share of Michigan's GDP, 39%. Kentucky, 35%. Louisiana, 35%. Tennessee, 33%.
Ooh.
Texas, 29%. Washington State, 27%. Indiana, 25%. New Jersey, 24%. Illinois, 23%. To give you an example, Michigan, the state with the highest reliance, if you will, or where international trade has the biggest impact on state GDP. Auto-related exports represented 9 of the top 10 state export categories for Michigan in 2016, and 9 of the top 10 state imports last year. Michigan's top import trade partner is Mexico, and its top state export trade partner is Canada, reflecting that Michigan automakers buy a lot of auto parts from Mexico, and they then sell a lot of cars to Canada, and that's at least in part aided by NAFTA. So, for those who want to onshore companies, understand that's tax policy can help with that. And those who want to grow jobs in this country recognize the interdependence of major sectors at the state level, including throughout the Midwest, on international trade. And imperfect as it is, I mean, I don't think, again, you need 1,200 pages to say free trade, which is what NAFTA is. But if it's not improving it in the direction of free trade, if it's quote-unquote improving it from the president's perspective in the direction of protectionism, you're potentially going to have a very negative impact on state economies and, in the aggregate, the national economy. So, I mean, it's just something to consider. Now, on the tax plan, though.
Yeah, he said that he wants the tax plan, he wants it to be dealt with this week and hopefully before, the holiday break. It'll be signed and sealed and delivered.
Yeah, he wants
it
done this
pipe
year.
Dream?
It doesn't seem
possible?
to be. I mean, it's certainly possible. It's a political will problem. So,
and Paul Ryan said he'd cancel the Christmas break if it's not done.
Paul Ryan has a sense of urgency about it.
Yeah.
And that's a good indication. Mitch McConnell, we'll see. That's going to be put to the test again. But now on Trump's tax plan, just in terms of the popularity and how you sell it, this was kind of fun. Over at Campus Reform, they sent a guy out to talk to students at George Washington University and see if they liked the Trump tax plan. So, just kind of let's just start overall reactions to the Trump tax plan as proposed.
What were your thoughts on Trump's tax plan when you saw it?
It's very better for the upper class than anyone else.
Pretty much horrible for the middle class, especially the lower class.
I mean, not ideal.
It's probably not the most efficient nor beneficial to the general populace.
Pretty negative. I feel the same.
Yeah, it's terrible. Oh, God, it's awful.
What party are we going to go to tonight?
Yeah, it's terrible. And now, interviewing those kids on the campus of George Washington, I don't think that's dissimilar than interviewing denizens of the North Shore in downtown Wilmette.
Right. Well,
I bet it wouldn't be different. And here's the little artifice that the interviewer did. He then said, well, I'll tell you what about Bernie Sanders' tax plan? And he asked them about Bernie Sanders' tax plan, which, of course, is Trump's tax plan, and specific parts of Trump's tax plan, but presented as Bernie's tax plan, and see how it changed, increasing the child tax credit.
So Bernie Sanders came out with his plan. Some people call it the compassionate alternative. So we're getting opinions on Bernie's plan. First, one of Bernie Sanders' plans is to enhance the child tax credit, which is tax money given back to families when they have children. What do you think of that? Positive or negative?
Positive.
All right.
Same. I was a social worker, so I understand how important tax credits like that are.
Parents that have children go through a lot, and I think giving back money to them really, in turn, helps the children.
I think that's great.
I think that's positive, definitely.
Positive, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the extended child tax credit, Ivanka Trump, who we haven't heard from lately, today she's traveling to Pennsylvania to push that plan.
Okay.
So she and Bernie Sanders are together on that.
This is suggesting that this is Bernie Sanders' plan. This isn't actually Bernie Sanders' plan, although this is something that he may support as part of a larger, money grab, of course, to try and sell it. What about eliminating the death tax, which is part of Trump's original proposal? Is that something, if you attach Bernie's name, you'd support?
Next up, eliminating the death tax. So when people die, it's a large tax on their estate that goes to their family. What do you think of that?
I think that's definitely something that we should be doing.
I do think that's a good idea because I'm from New Jersey and we used to have like a really heavy inheritance tax.
I'm in favor of that. I would say more positive.
I think I agree with that.
Now, again, these are all the same people that oppose Trump's tax plan.
Right. So they're doing a bait and switch, like they're just...
Well, once you take Trump's name off of it and you attach Bernie's, and then you go through the substantive parts of it, they do 180s, right? So how about reducing the marginal rate for small businesses, the pass-through to 25%?
Bernie is planning to lower the small business tax rate to a maximum of 25%. I think that's a positive or negative?
I definitely think that's a positive. I feel very positively toward that. My family has a small business, so I would definitely think that's a positive thing.
Taxing them less makes more sense.
Any way we can help small businesses work and thrive, it's definitely something that's beneficial for the country.
I think that would be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and then comes the reveal for those poor suckered kids.
Overall, main idea of the plan, what do you think? Bernie did a good job, bad job?
I think overall, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
All
Good job, Bernie.
I think it's definitely a good plan, a positive plan that can help everyone.
I think it's pretty good. Definitely better than whatever Trump is proposing. I would make that leap right there. So.
What if I told you this actually is Donald Trump's tax plan, not Bernie's?
You got me.
Well, at least she admitted it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then
busted.
And then they explained, why, how they got suckered. At least they were sort of honest about it.
It's actually Trump's plan.
What?
Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
Wow. I am shocked that I do agree with Trump on certain things.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm definitely happily surprised that it's sounds a lot better than I would have expected it to.
I would have imagined he would be a little more stupid than that.
Okay. But it's not a stupid plan?
No, I don't think so. I think if you said it was Trump, at least for many people, it would be more opposition to it just because it was Trump.
It could be a policy of giving me ice cream, but if it's Trump, I'd be like, what's in that ice cream?
I definitely think there's an initial bias. I mean, I've done it myself. I'll just hear the word Trump and I'm like, ugh. I definitely think that's something to need to be looked over.
People, once they hear Trump or Republican, they become oh, they suck no matter what.
I think people definitely hear the name and start to think things automatically. And also because a lot of people just go to the same news sources, the same media, it makes it tough to get other points of views.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good points there. At least they were being honest. That's exactly what it is. It's a brand. And I understand a brand has power, has equity, and it's a promise to deliver something. And
I appreciate their candor, though.
Yeah, you can have positive and negative brands. No, right. Look, go to the same news source. I just immediately have a visceral negative reaction. I don't want to hear the rest of it, which is, by the way, a lesson. Number one, protect your brand. Number two, don't play cult of personality politics. Address and advance the substantive policy proposal and have a discussion about the policy proposal rather than about polarized political actors, whether it's Obama or Trump, right? Because you can't get past it, or it takes a lot to get past. You actually have to kind of deconstruct them by trickery to get past their bias, their block on anything associated with somebody they don't like. Are you for sunshine and happiness? Well, not if it's, at the behest of Trump. I'm not. Right? So it's just a great political lesson in messaging and also being thoughtful, because I guarantee you go down to Michigan Avenue, or you go up to the North Shore, and you could run this same game on all of the hyper-educated, successful professionals meandering about in both of those areas. Because if it's Trump, it's bad. If it's Obama, it's good. If it's this person, it's bad. If it's that person, it's good. If it's a Republican, it's bad. I mean, so that's how, frankly, the lack of analysis that's done. But in part, it's incumbent upon the person pushing a proposal to try and get people to focus on the substance of the idea rather than who's associated with the idea necessarily. Mike, on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hey, Mike.
Thanks for taking my call, Dan. First off, I think we're hurting the Dan Prof brand by using all these big terms. Yesterday and today, Dan, nobody knows what you mean by Thomas Hobbes and the Bertolt Brecht references.
Yep.
They're looking on YouTube or something for these guys.
It's a teachable moment. Yeah.
It's a teachable moment, but you're speaking over the head. You can't get elected or attract more viewership if you're talking like Thurston Howell Prof III.
Thurston Howell wished he could make a Bertolt Brecht reference. Yes.
Okay, Amy, we got to work on this guy. On the way home, I want you to stop off at the Timber Lanes.
Okay.
Take Dan into the bowling alley, rent him some shoes, teach him how to pick up the 7-10 split, and if he does a good enough job, take him to the snack bar for lunch. He can get a grilled cheese sandwich made with Velveeta and a slice of grilled Spam.
I love grilled cheese. I don't like Spam though.
Oh, it is a great grilled cheese sandwich.
You're gonna have to try it. Order an old style. Don't order old style light, because the old ladies from St. Benedict's will make fun of you.
Yeah. Now, Mike, I've got a question. Thank you. I've got a question about
Timber Lanes.
Well, no, but about the LGBT party. Of course, the Love, Guns, Bacon, and Trump party that Mike started. If you have a summer home, are you allowed to be a member of the LGBT party?
It's got to be on a lake, and you have to have more fishing poles than TVs in it.
Okay, all right, guys. Okay. So it's got to be more like a cabin than a summer home.
Yeah, and Dan, if you do well with the bowling alley, I'll take you to the south side, the Fat Johnny's. We'll get you a mother-in-law, which is a tom-tom tamale with onions and chili, and then we'll take you to the Baby Doll Polka Club, and the old ladies will teach you how to dance the polka and the hokey pokey.
I can't think
we'll make you a blue-collar guy yet.
I can't think of a better date night, Mike, than spending it with you having a mother-in-law at Fat Tommy's.
Fat Johnny's.
Fat Johnny's, excuse me. Even better. Thank you for the...
Fat Tommy is someone totally different.
I got to keep my fat guys distinguished. Mike, thank you so much. I look forward to our Saturday night date night. I appreciate that so much.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up. What's coming up, Dan? Well, later we're going to talk about sentencing day for Bo Bergdahl. Time already served enough, and why he enjoyed his time being captured more than he enjoys being a U.S. citizen. Wow. First, though, here's your forecast. Plenty of rain. We're going to have a pretty damp week around here. Showers on and off in spots throughout the day and this afternoon. A high only of 60. Tonight, rain in the 40s we go. And tomorrow, considerable cloudiness, windy, cooler. Showers, highs only in the mid to upper 40s. Yikes. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Busy man this morning. High standing water anywhere? Here's Jim Talamonte with the answer.
It's pretty soggy. The travel times reflect that, Amy, and we have delays in Wadsworth on 173 in both directions approaching the tri-state. The signals aren't working right. Eden's Expressway, 22 minutes Lycoke to Montrose outbound 21. Kennedy, 28 minutes O'Hare to downtown outbound 38. The Eisenhower, 48 minutes Thorndale to the post office outbound 41. Stevenson, 51 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40. The Rhine is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 35 minutes. I-80 to the merge. The Bishop Ford delay started 159th. Northbound Tri-State slow, 95th to the 83rd Street toll from the Stevenson to 31st and Roosevelt to North Avenue. But Adams Tollway tied up from Manheim to the Kennedy. Reagan Tollway heavy now, 22nd to the Eisenhower. 8094 has westbound delays from past Grant to Burr. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Two strong banking teams have united to help you continue to grow your business with the same dedication and even more opportunities. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. The same team you know and trust now brings deeper resources, global banking reach, and the power to help your business seize new opportunities. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit us at cibc.com/US. Member FDIC.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart and other fine retailers.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I love it. I see a tremendous difference in my skin, in my nails, in my hair, in my energy.
Unlike the people that I hear on the radio, you know, I've had vitamins before, but this is makes a much bigger difference than vitamins ever did. That's for sure.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Napa know-how.
It takes a lot to get excited about a bag, but most bags can't save you 20% on auto parts. That's 20% off headlamps, 20% off oil filters, 20% off virtually anything you can fit inside the 99-cent Napa reusable bag. So tell your buddies, there's a bag they just have to check out. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Minimum 3 items. Exclusions apply. Offer ends 10/31/17.
Liberty Mutual presents worry-free music moments. Switching to Liberty Mutual could save you $782 on the perfect home and auto insurance for your needs, so you can feel good about the family budget and the massage you're about to treat yourself to.
This is awesome.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide survey of new customers, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
Join the fun at the Ultimate Sports Dome in Aurora for the inaugural Golf, Fitness, and Home Tent Sale. This 3-day event happens October 27th, 28th, and 29th and showcases products and services for golf equipment and clothing, home improvement, sports, fitness, and nutrition. There really is something for everyone. Ladies can shop for home items, while the men can find golf stuff. And fitness buffs can find everything from nutrition to the latest in fitness equipment. Get an early start on Christmas shopping. You'll find great gifts for everyone. Plus, enjoy fun and games for shoppers to stay active. A long putt contest, closest to the pin, basketball and shooting contest, bouncy houses for the kids, and so much more. It's going to be a great time with great deals. Don't miss the Golf, Fitness, and Home Tent Sale, October 27th, 28th, and 29th. Doors open at 11 a.m. on Friday and 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Only at the Ultimate Sports Dome, 1900 Hill Avenue in Aurora. Admission is only $5 and kids 12 and under free. For all the info, go to sportzonepark.com.
For it is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of all our ancestors, who has brought glory to his servant Jesus by doing this.
Hi, this is Kevin Sorbo, and that's Wintley Phipps portraying the Apostle Peter in the new Breathe Audio Bible. Wintley and I are just two of the nearly 100 voices you'll hear in this remarkably vivid, dramatic audio presentation of the New Testament. You know, Even on my most hectic day, I need to be able to have a personal encounter with my Savior. The Breathe Audio Bible helps me get away from the noise of this world and be transported into the world of the Bible. Through the voice talents of people who have a passion and heart for the Bible like Corbin Blue, Jesse McCartney, Bailey Madison, and John Rhys Davies, the life-changing message of the Bible comes alive. To secure your copy of the Breathe Audio Bible and begin your Bible journey, visit breathebible.com. That's breathebible.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so the 5 living former presidents, got together to raise money for hurricane victims over the weekend.
Yeah, they were at Texas A&M at the Reed Arena, and it was quite a sight. I love when they all get together because it's just such a rare moments in history that you see
grumpy old
5
men together.
No, they weren't grumpy. You know, they you could tell the time is wearing on their souls a little bit. But when H.W. Bush was wheeled in to the arena, everybody stood on their feet and were cheering. And there is something going on between W. Bush and President Obama, because they could not stop laughing, especially when President Clinton was up there speaking.
If we just do what we ought to do and prove that the heart of America, without regard to race or religion or political party, is greater than our problems.
Yeah, because Obama leaned over to W and said, "Don't you wish these guys would just go away, these Clintons? Do they ever leave?"
Well, that comment was supposed to be a message to President Trump.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You've got to watch it, though. But Jimmy Carter was up there. Jimmy? You want to hear Jimmy?
In fact, we are way ahead of any other nation. Last year, there were 67 million Americans who volunteered to help other people in America. And that came to 8 billion hours of work.
I'm already bored. But he was talking about, the need to volunteer and to help out. And then President Obama.
All of us on this stage here tonight could not be prouder of the response of Americans when they see their neighbors and they see their friends. They see strangers in need. Americans step up.
Yeah, and they raised $31 million, I think I saw, and that's great. That's great. I was tickled by what else Jimmy Carter had to say in an interview with the New York Times.
Yeah, it was real.
I don't think there's any evidence that what the Russians did changed enough votes or any votes, so they didn't steal the election from Hillary. They didn't vote for Hillary. Voted for Bernie. He and Rosalind.
Yeah, they voted for Bernie in the primary, right? He also said that he's eager to work with Donald Trump on North Korea. He said that I'm here, and anytime he wants to talk, I am available to him.
Sure, of course. And Carter over there with Rodman, see what they can do with Kim Jong-un. But the best was Jimmy Carter on the media and the media's coverage of Trump. I think the media have been harder on Trump than any other president, certainly that I've known about. I think they feel free to claim that Trump is mentally deranged and everything else without hesitation. Wow. He also said NFL players should stand during the anthem.
Yep, he said, NFL players should stand during the anthem.
So for those of you trying to decide who is the worst president in American history, is it Jimmy Carter, Barack Obama? Jimmy Carter just inched ahead, I think.
Yeah.
Just based on this New York Times interview. So
yeah,
just in the nick of time.
Yeah, and he's standing up and defending President Trump. And he's there to help him. But George W. Bush, not only does Jeb love his dad, but so does W.
First of all, I'm thrilled to be able to introduce 39, 42, and 44 to one of the finest universities in the United States.
Homer.
This is cute.
They're not going to like that at SMU.
I, too, am here to urge you to give to this fine fund, and I want to thank all the volunteers, but I'm here for another reason. I speak for the folks right here when I say we really admire and love George H.W. Bush.
That's sweet. Well, he's an American hero. He served and was shot down during World War II and survived, and a lot of people love him.
I love my dad. I'd kill for him.
Yeah.
I'd go to prison for him because I love him so much.
Few love him more than Jeb, that's clear. Coming up, we'll see if Diamond and Silk agree with Representative Frederica Wilson that General Kelly owes both Representative Wilson and the American people an apology. That's at 6:36.
And later, Governor Rauner is seeking re-election. He's making it official today.
And the big question is, for which party will he seek the nomination?
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
52 and rain showers. It has been a messy morning on the roads. We get critical details from Jim Talamonte in just a moment. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl begins the process of being sentenced for desertion. Today, a judge in a military courtroom at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, expected to hear a wide range of testimony. People in Tampa, Florida, in a neighborhood of that large Florida city, are very worried. They're worried about a serial killer. 3 people killed in less than 2 weeks in a single small neighborhood. Police say the victims did not know each other, but investigators do believe the shootings are related. Senate Intelligence Committee member James Langford frustrated at not getting the full story over how 4 U.S. soldiers died in Niger.
Well, we have all the same questions that have already been mentioned there as well to find out what actually happened. That's the key aspect right now, is all the facts that are on the ground.
Oklahoma Republican on CBS's Face the Nation. The attack raising questions, especially since the U.S. Army operates drone bases in Niger and has significant intelligent assets there. Although President Trump maintains he will not blame himself for GOP failures, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the president is getting a lot more done than he's getting credit for.
President Trump, I think, doesn't get nearly enough credit for the changes that he's brought about that are unrelated to legislation.
The Kentucky Republican tells CNN's State of the Union the president's appointments are changing the country. Dozens of women this morning are lining up to accuse another Hollywood director, this one James Toback, of sexual harassment. The LA Times put out a story that says 38 women have come forward with sexual harassment claims against Toback. Some even give graphic details. The director denies the claims. The 2018 Illinois governor's race on pace to be the most expensive in U.S. history, propelled by wealthy Republican incumbent and a billionaire Democrat J.B. Pritzker and a multimillionaire Chris Kennedy, among several Democrats, trying to defeat Governor Bruce Rauner, who's expected to officially launch a re-election bid today. Bears winners over the Carolina Panthers Sunday 17-3. That other football, Houston beat the Fire 3-0 in their regular season finale. Bulls back on the road facing Cleveland tomorrow night. The Blackhawks on away ice, continuing their road trip in Las Vegas. World Series will start on Tuesday, Astros and Dodgers. The news service of the Jeep Celebration event at your local Jeep dealer. It's the Jeep Celebration event. Get incredible deals on award-winning Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and the Go Anywhere Wrangler, and the all-new Renegade. But don't wait. The Jeep Celebration event ends soon. See your local Jeep dealer today. 6:34. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
You can always count on Dennis Prager to go deeper into an issue.
It's so obvious to me that there are gradations of sin. A serial adulterer is not the same as a one-time adulterer. Otherwise, we're doomed. If everything is equal in the world of sin, then is everything equal in the world of good? So is everybody just morphed into some giant moral blob?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
College football programs know the importance of recruiting. If they want to compete at the highest level, they need to bring on the best talent. People who have the skills and drive to be a success. The same is true in business. Recruiting is vital. And with ZipRecruiter, you'll have a smarter and simpler way to assemble your own winning team. With just one click, you can post your job to over 100 job boards. Then ZipRecruiter's matching technology identifies relevant talent fast. 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 24 hours. And your ZipRecruiter dashboard helps keep everything in one place. So it's easy to review and rank the candidates with the best experience. You'll be building a powerhouse program in no time. Choose the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter, proud hiring partner of the Fighting Illini.
For your free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. Once again, for a free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini.
It is 6:36. It's Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Critical details for you come from Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Flight boards at O'Hare show a few delays, mainly affecting arrivals, but most flights are moving as scheduled despite the rain and fog. Downtown Chicago, we've had a pedestrian hit by a car at Clark and Randolph. Eden's 36 minutes now. Lake Cook to Montrose. Delay start at Gulf Road. Outbound 21 minutes. Also heavy on the eastbound spur while Keegan Road to the Edens. Kennedy, 34 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 50. Additional delays on westbound 190 from River Road to Manheim. The Eisenhower's 48 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 41. Stevenson, 52 minutes. 355 to the drive. Outbound 40. Ryan, 32 minutes from 95th to the loop. Lakeshore Drive southbound before the Stevenson. Got a crash on the right shoulder. It's a little heavy there. Eastbound 390. It's still Meacham to 290. Northbound Tri-State delays. Southwest Highway to 31st. Roosevelt to North Avenue. Eastbound Reagan Tollway. It's slow going. 59 to 355 and 83 to the Ike. 8094. Eastbound at Kennedy. A crash just reported. Westbound slow Grant to Burr. Traffic Service, Farmers Insurance. As the road you travel changes, so do your insurance needs. Talking with a farmer's agent can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Find an agent at farmers.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Rain this morning, followed by spotty showers this afternoon and a high near 60. Cloudy with occasional rain, breezy, low 44, and a high only of 49 tomorrow. Currently 51 at O'Hare. Next news comes your way at 7. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Joe Walsh here. Passing a bill to allow the American people to keep more of their own money, that should be a very easy thing for Republicans to do. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I just want to note our friend Ron from Berwyn making a strong case for LBJ as the worst president in American history. And there's a case to be made.
Yeah.
So it's a great discussion to have, worst presidents in American history, even the last 50 years. LBJ, Obama, Carter. Strong cases to be made for all three. But Carter, with that New York Times interview, I think
he's redeeming himself.
He inches ahead of those other.
Well, he's practical. Like letting people know the Russians did not change the votes.
Yeah, I think it's a fit of practicality from Jimmy Carter. I wouldn't get used to it. President Trump sat down with Maria Bartiromo. We played a little bit of what he had to say about tax and trade policy. Wide-ranging interview. It was very good, as Maria Bartiromo is a very good interviewer. And Trump also was asked to respond to the controversy and war of words between his chief of staff, General Kelly, and Florida Representative Frederica Wilson about his call to the widow of Sergeant Johnson, one of the 4 Green Berets killed in Niger. Here's President Trump answering that question.
The Congresswoman, Frederica Wilson, she said, everything he said was because he's just trying to keep his job.
Yeah, he doesn't need this job. In fact, he didn't really want this job. He was so happy. He's a military guy. He was doing this incredible job on the border and elsewhere. He ran Homeland like nobody has ever run it. Down 78% at the border crossings.
It's incredible.
That's before the war. There's nobody close. You go to the original first day, there was nobody close to doing the job. And I said, I'd like to take you. How would you like it? And it's not that he wanted it. Actually, he would have preferred doing and staying where he was. He is a man that felt it would be important for the country. He does it for the country. He's not doing it for what he wants. He does it for the country. This is a very unusual man. So when she made that statement, I thought it was sickening, actually.
Sickening. And Trump doubled down on what he had to say to Ms. Bartiromo over the weekend, tweeting about it. Tweeting about Representative Wilson in less than glowing terms, as you can imagine. Suggesting that she is,
he's been calling her wacky. Yeah, that's pretty much. He repeated what he tweeted the other day, and still keeping the narrative going. But without Twitter, he said he wouldn't. And without social media, he said he wouldn't be president, and he defends his right to tweet.
Tweeting is like a typewriter. When I put it out, you put it immediately on your show. I mean, the other day I put something out. 2 seconds later, I'm watching your show. It's up. Donald
You're right.
Trump is,
We're watching your Twitter feed.
Okay, and you know, they're well crafted. I was always a good student. I'm like a person that does well with that kind of thing. And I doubt I'd be here if it weren't for social media, to be honest with you, because there is a fake media out there. I get treated very unfairly by the media, and I have a tremendous platform.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's as great with that sort of thing, meaning the use of the English language as he thinks he is, but apparently it's been effective. He's in the Oval Office. In addition to that, you have our friend Scott Adams, the Dilbert cartoon creator.
Yeah.
He had a good op-ed over the weekend in the Wall Street Journal, The Power of the Presidential Tweet, in which he defends Trump's usage of Twitter, too, and not because he's necessarily a defender of Trump, but just in terms of the efficacy of the communication. He writes, does Adams, if you think Mr. Trump's tweets are nothing but thin-skin reflex, you're missing a great show. Historians and trained persuaders will be analyzing his extraordinary Twitter game for hundreds of years, wondering how much of it was based on training and how much of it was pure instinct. Okay, I mean, this is Scott Adams still making the case that Trump is a genius communicator. I see some of what he's saying, and other things about what he's suggesting with respect to Trump's communication skills, I find it kind of be bootstrapping an argument, just because he's been somewhat successful politically, certainly electorally, politically, individually. We'll just see how far that extends. Anyway, interesting comments from the president, both on his defense of his use of Twitter, as well as his defense of his chief of staff in the face of calls for an apology from Representative Wilson. For more on these and other topics, we're pleased to be joined by our friends, the lovely ladies of punditry. They are Diamond and Silk, hosts of The Viewer's View. Diamond and Silk, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So what do you say in response to Representative Wilson and the Congressional Black Caucus, all of whom are demanding an apology from General Kelly to Representative Wilson and to the country?
Well, I think that she is the one that needs to apologize. She the one took her rodeo clown show on the road.
That's right.
To try to sensationalize a story to gain some type of political clout. And here's the point that everybody is missing. She started talking to the media. I wanted to talk to the president. But here's the deal. If you was on speakerphone and you heard the president saying something that he shouldn't have been saying, you had the platform to say something to the president. That lets me know she's an alleged liar. It didn't go down that way. She took something and she ran with it because she don't like the president.
Right.
So he can't do nothing right in her eyes. She is the one that needs to apologize. She is the one that took this here and ran with it while this poor lady, her husband passed away. Threw her into politics. Listen, these Gold Star families and these families, they do not want to be in politics, and she did it. She should apologize to the whole nation.
Well, do you understand the relationship between the Congresswoman and the family? She
the relationship.
No, well, she was. They knew her long before she was a lawmaker.
If you were on speakerphone and you thought that the president said something wrong, you could have intercepted. But she claims, I asked to speak to him. Well, who did you ask? Because if y'all was all on speakerphone, you heard the president and he could hear you. I think what she did was sensationalize that and blew that out of proportion and took that out of context to try to make our president look bad. And she need to apologize. Make her round shows like she did before. Make them to all of the networks and apologize to the nation.
See, I think you're onto something when you suggest that she doesn't like the president. So whatever she heard that she thought was untoward, she construed negatively rather than giving the president the benefit of doubt, like you would give any president who's calling the widow of a fallen soldier to try and console her, to offer kind words, like any president would do. But for some reason, because it's Trump, you don't give him the benefit of the doubt, and you're looking to seize on something even when it isn't there. And I think that's why you had this other Gold Star widow, Natasha D. Alencar, release a video of her call with the president from back in April when her husband was killed in Afghanistan. And I think it really...
Black woman.
Right, yes.
To be a black woman.
Right.
You mean to tell me, are you telling us that, he called the other three and it was good, but this one person, he wanted to be mean? No, that's not our president. We know the president. He don't operate like that. And for Wilson to take and do her little rodeo clown show all over the networks, just looking crazy, and ghetto, especially on The View, she should apologize to the whole nation and go somewhere and sit her behind down.
Well, how do you feel his wife or widow is going to be on Good Morning America? She'll be on in about a few minutes here. Do you think that she'll just echo the same sentiment that Republican or Representative Wilson did?
Look, if they friends, I don't know. I don't know. The only thing is, I hate that she's being thrown into politics because it's nasty. Right. This here is very, very, very nasty. We should be talking about these fallen heroes, how they fought for our country, not politicizing this. So I'm disgusted by them politicizing everything, taking one thing and running with it. They always do this. Go ahead,
And
Phil.
for God's sake, stop using a fallen soldier as a tool just to gain some political gain.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The other clip that we played, President Trump defending his use of Twitter amid, many calls from a lot of circles. Gosh, I wish he would use Twitter more sparingly. I wish somebody would copy edit it. I wish, that some of what he said via Twitter he didn't say. What's your? I mean, as somebody, frankly, a couple of ladies who've, you've sprungboard to stardom through the internet and through the ability to communicate your views via YouTube and all the other social media outlets. What's your take on the president's use of Twitter?
We don't have a problem with him using Twitter. If the president don't keep his own message out there, then the media will run their narrative, a narrative full of lies. Look at how they had this woman, Wilson, Congresswoman Wilson, on every network besides Fox, running around here acting crazy.
That's right.
So the president has to keep his own narrative. He has to tell us, because really, we don't look at the fake news a whole lot. We don't listen to them a whole lot. So the president has to keep it out there.
That's right. And if it wasn't for his Twitter account and him tweeting, we wouldn't know that unemployment is low, that the Dow it has made another record. We wouldn't know a whole lot of different things that's going on about the real Russian collusion. We would not know what's really going on because the very fake news don't report it.
They sure don't. They stay on this stuff with Wilson.
Well, there was one headline this weekend that made my blood boil. Here it is. Trump despicably plays golf instead of attending funeral of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson.
Okay, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. And see, this is why, for me, I try to back away. Now, I have to back away from Twitter because Twitter done gave us more letters.
Right.
So now I can really put the knife in and twist it. You see what I'm talking about? Okay, but you see what I'm saying? So if he would have showed up, then it would have been a problem. He's darn if you do, darn if you don't. And that's what bothers me with these Democrats, with these so-called congressmen and women. Any little thing he do, he can't do any right in their eyes. And that's why he's going to do another 4 years. They just handed him another 4 years because it's people that they're tired. They're tired of seeing this here. They're tired of them, period.
And just on the substance of some policy agenda items that I think are quite important with respect to the prospect of another 4 years or Republicans having another 2 years in control, the tax plan the president has proposed and is out promoting, and Paul Ryan suggesting that nobody leaves until we pass this out of the House. I don't know if McConnell is similarly inclined. But how important do you think that tax plan that the president proposed is in terms of his standing with middle-income families in America?
Oh, it's standing good.
Yeah.
Listen, people want those tax cuts. It's going to benefit everybody. And I think that they should pass them. Give us a good Christmas present.
That's right.
Pass those because that's going to benefit everybody down the line. Listen, this man is working for the people. And let me tell you why the media, the elites, the music industry, the Hollywood industry, why they're trying to take down this president. Because he's not beholden to those industries.
Right.
See, Obama, he worked for those industries. He pushed what they wanted. The president is going to push what the people want. We want tax cuts, and that's what we're going to get.
That's right.
All right, you heard it there. Diamond and Silk want tax cuts in their stockings for Christmas.
Yeah.
Diamond and Silk, hosts of The Viewer's View. Diamond and Silk, ladies, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And they joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one. Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. President Trump considering possible changes at the Fed. Florida still feeling the effect of Hurricane Irma, and the president's choice of a new mine safety czar being criticized. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. Over the weekend, speculation mounting about a possible change of leaders at the Fed, the White House signaling the possible nomination of Fed Governor Jerome Powell for the top spot, who would replace Janet Yellen. Her term expires in February. Another name being floated as a candidate is Stanford University economist John Taylor. Florida lost 127,000 jobs last month, according to the Labor Department, many of those jobs in retail stores and hotels hard hit by Hurricane Irma. President Trump's choice of a retired coal company executive from West Virginia to oversee mining safety, drawing fire from Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. Manchin says he opposes the president's nomination. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey, believe it or not, the holidays are fastly approaching, and now's the perfect time to purchase 2 gifts and only pay for one, or give a gift and keep one for yourself. Of course, I'm talking about MyPillow, and the buy one, get one free offer is back. I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage by using the promo code Amy. You'll get the absolute best deal available. I personally love MyPillow. I get a great night's sleep by moving the fill to give me the support I need regardless of sleep position, and I never ever wake up with a stiff neck or headache. And I love knowing that it's made in America. You can wash them and dry them. They're hypoallergenic, plus have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And it's good to know that you're supporting an American company that helped thousands and thousands of hurricane victims. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillows as gifts for yourself by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy, or visit MyPillow.com. That's MyPillow.com.
So what would you do with an extra $500 a month in your budget? $500. This isn't hypothetical, by the way. This is something you may need to think about very soon if you decide to become a member of MediShare. MediShare is a way to pay for your health care, and typically it costs $500 less per month for a family versus other health care plans. So seriously, think about this. You could pay off loans, pay down a mortgage, save the money for retirement, donate to charity. That would be a big deal. But you know what? Here's the best thing. MediShare works. It has 250,000 members, and it's growing fast. With MediShare, not only do you save, you don't have to pay for things you don't believe in either, and that is a beautiful thing too. So here's how you can find out more, and you might actually wind up saving even more than $500 a month. So check into it. Here's the number. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. Now available in Montana. Call 844-41-BIBLE.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I sing your praises all the time because I was very run down. I was getting bronchitis all the time. And ever since I started taking this, at the first sign of a sniffle, by the next day, it's gone.
Love it. Great product. Yeah, I should have taken it years ago. It works. You know, your skin is better, your blood pressure is down, and stuff like that.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. 2468751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's promo code WIND.
Honey, we need more space. With the new baby on the way and the kids getting older, we need it now. I love this home and I really don't want to move.
As homes age, it makes sense to remodel. It's much more cost-effective than moving. Choosing the right contractor is as important as your kitchen, bath, or addition. I'm Robert Soto, owner of Midland Development Group. Over decades of experience working with homeowners like you, I've excelled at finding the perfect solution for your individual needs, from concept to design all the way to completion of your project. I also share your values and know you demand the best quality, price, and dependability. I hope you'll give us a chance to prove to you that my word is my bond. We're Home Advisor affiliated and look forward to discussing your project.
Contact Robert Soto of Midland Development Group. Call 312-617-7335 or visit MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com. Midland Development Group, where price and quality meet. 312-617-7335 or at MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com. Where did I put that wrench? I know I have the right size screwdriver in here somewhere. This garage is a mess. Trouble finding your tools? Time to get organized with StoreLock, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And it's 100% made in the USA, close by in Kankakee, with a 55-year unconditional guarantee. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. And it's fully assembled when it ships. You'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere and everywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. It's time to get your home, garage, or business organized. Call Mike the owner personally at 1-800-786-7562. That's 1-800-STORLOC. Or go to StoreLock.com. That's StoreLock.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, Amy, do Peyton and Eli like to be called on in class? They raise their hands. Are they active?
Oh, yeah.
Do they?
And one guy blamed Bright student for being just that, taking action, raising his hands, always wanting to be part of the conversation and listening to the views of others, even though they're opposing views of his.
I think I know they're half Puerto Rican, so they may get in under the wire, but I doubt it. I don't think University of Pennsylvania is for them. A graduate instructor at University of Pennsylvania, Stephanie McKellop, who self-describes as a queer disabled feminist. Queer disabled feminist. That covers a lot of ground.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
She does not call on white male students except as a last resort. I always call on my black women students first. Other persons of color get second-tier priority. White women come next. And if I have to, white men.
That's discriminatory behavior.
No, it's progressive stacking. There's a term for it, progressive stacking.
I guess I'm not hip anymore.
You're clearly not, which is revolutionary. Progressive stacking.
That's the name of your high school band, right?
It was, yeah. Progressive stacking. It was a Foreigner cover band. You should have heard us do Jukebox Hero. It was all the rage.
Awesome.
Yeah. University of Pennsylvania leading the way in progressive stacking. So if you got a white male kid, boy, just tell him he's got to, get to the back of the bus. That's the Ivy League for you in the 21st century.
Oh, gosh. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Another Hollywood sleaze is outed. Could Louis C.K. be next? Hashtag MeToo at 7:07.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Wheaton College football players headed for DuPage County courtroom today. The Bears winners on the football field on Sunday. And a rainy forecast ahead. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
He'll hear from the men wounded trying to save him. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. They'll testify at Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl's sentencing hearing starting today at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Bergdahl spent 5 years as a prisoner of the Taliban after leaving his post in Afghanistan, sent home in a prisoner swap, now pleading guilty to desertion and misbehavior.
In an interview with the British Sunday Times, Bergdahl said his Taliban captors were more honest with him than the U.S. Army has been since his release from the Taliban. Bergdahl saying at least the Taliban were honest enough to say, I'm the guy who's going to cut your throat.
Fox's Kelly Wright. We don't know if John McCain was talking about President Trump in an interview about the Vietnam War, but he could have been. Live in D.C., Fox's Rachel Sutherland.
Chris, Senator McCain, who spent 5 years as a prisoner of war, appeared to take a dig at the president during the interview with C-SPAN 3 about the war. While not naming names, McCain said it was unfair that rich young men got out of the draft.
We drafted the lowest income level of America, and the highest income level found a doctor that would say that they had a bone spur.
The New York Times reported last year that then-candidate Trump received 5 draft deferments during the war, and one of them was for bone spurs in 1968. Chris?
Rachel, thanks. Obamacare is in court today. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Attorneys general from 19 states are asking a federal judge to force the Trump administration to keep making monthly payments for health care subsidies, which he abruptly cut off earlier this month. Now, the president calls the subsidies insurance company bailouts, but the administration had been making the payments even as he threatened to cut them off to force Democrats to negotiate over health care. The states argue that the Trump administration violated a law requiring government agencies to obey existing statutes and follow procedures. Chris?
Tanya, on Wall Street ahead of the opening bell, Dow futures are up 21, and this is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Rain showers and 52 degrees. It's 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 4 of the 5 Wheaton College football players accused of violently hazing a teammate last year are due in DuPage County Court today. Each are expected to formally enter a plea. The suspects have been charged with aggravated battery and unlawful restraint. The teammate claims through his criminal defense attorney that the players bound him with duct tape and left him naked on a baseball field with torn shoulders. Chicago police are warning people that skimming devices have been found recently on more than a dozen ATMs across the city. Most of those devices were discovered on the north side, 3 confirmed at Walgreens stores. The 2018 Illinois governor's race is on pace to be the most expensive in U.S. history, propelled by wealthy Republican incumbent Bruce Rauner and billionaire Democrat J.B. Pritzker and multimillionaire Chris Kennedy among Democrats trying to defeat Governor Bruce Rauner, who's expected to officially launch a re-election bid today. One man is dead after a driver intentionally rammed that victim into a pickup truck on Chicago's southwest side. Eduardo Pena was driving home when another vehicle slammed into his truck near 55th and Kedzie. That truck was dragged for about 2 blocks before it rammed into a tree. The other driver then took off following the incident. Eduardo Pena died at a nearby hospital. Rookie safety Eddie Jackson became the first NFL player to score multiple defensive touchdowns of 75 yards or more in a game to lead the Bears to a 17-3 win over the Carolina Panthers Sunday.
You know, we knew if we could break on the ball, we were able to get some tips and overthrows. So that was something we really was on top of in a week of practice. And I was just able to make something happen out there. Houston's Dynamo beat the Fire 3-0 in their regular season finale. The Bulls take on the Cavaliers tomorrow. The Blackhawks stay on road ice, taking on Las Vegas, as well as the World Series kicks off tomorrow night. Astros and Dodgers. The News, a service of Farmers Insurance. As the road you travel changes, so do your insurance needs. Talking with a farmer's agent can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Find an agent at farmers.com. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather. On the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity explains how Trump is getting business done.
He's not just sitting around doing nothing, and he's literally systematically just striking down one Obama policy after another and chipping away at all the damage that Obama did. And if he can't get Congress, the House and Senate to get along, then all right, well, then he's going to do everything he can do on his own.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing much more than just a rate. Let me ask you, does calling the company with the best client service in America, with 11 J.D. Power Awards to prove it, matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative, client-focused technology, matter? Does calling the company with 17,000-plus team members who are helping to rebuild the great cities of Detroit and Cleveland matter? Of course it matters. No wonder our clients have made Quicken Loans America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. And Winfield got a crash with injuries. Winfield Road at Geneva Road. The Edens inbound is heavy. First on the spur from Waukegan Road to the Edens, then Gulf Road to the junction. 36 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 25. Kennedy, 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose. 19 on the Express. Outbound 35 minutes to Montrose. An hour and 17 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower jammed. Wolf to California, an hour and 2 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. And outbound an hour and 2 minutes as well, with heavy delays on the extension. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. 55 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound 53 minutes to 3:55. Ryan, 30 minutes. 95th to the Loop. I-57 Bishop Ford, both 35 minutes from I-80 to the Verge. Lakeshore Drive heavy early. Southbound Belmont to Fullerton. Northbound from before the Stevenson to Balbo. Tri-State southbound stop and go 2E to the Adams Tollway. Northbound 111th to 31st and Roosevelt to Balmoral. Eastbound Adams Tollway gummed up, lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway. The Aurora Toll to Eola. Naperville to 355 and Myers to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial delays. Fountain Toll to the Reagan Tollway. Butterfield to St. Charles. Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, a little rain for the morning. Otherwise, mainly cloudy, high 60. Tonight, periods of rain, becoming breezy late at night with a low 44. Tomorrow, cloudy, windy, and cooler with showers, high 49. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
51 at O'Hare. Next news at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. What do you think of the hashtag MeToo campaign? This campaign started in the wake of the Human Stains outing, Harvey Weinstein, and has really taken off. Women sharing their stories of sexual harassment or worse through social media. This is was sort of resuscitated by Alyssa Milano, but it's the it was her picking up on a Me Too campaign that had been launched by a different activist years earlier. It had been used before. She kind of repopularized it by suggesting that women share their stories using the hashtag #MeToo, and then it was amplified by Rosario Dawson and so forth. By early last week, 600,000 people were talking about it on Facebook, just to give you an example of how quickly it spread. including those, the MeToo campaign. Take your reactions to the MeToo campaign. Is it just piling on and advancing this notion of masculine toxicity, or is it, it's legitimate women sharing horror stories, and men should get involved too, and sort of perhaps providing a path for a renaissance of treating women with respect and understanding that women are different than men, and to borrow from General Kelly, that women are sacred and should be protected. Is that a positive?
I'm for that.
Well, I understand.
But
but
I think a lot of men already do that. But you've
Right.
got these women who held this in for decades, and now that they feel that they have a common bond. Well, she's talking about it, then it's okay to tell my story. And some people are calling out the rat bastards who did this to them, and others are choosing not to.
Well, right. And so the question is the Me Too campaign, do you sense that it's moving in a positive direction where, civilized people come together and say, well, I'm not going to stand for people who prey on women. And oh, by the way, also, women who make bad decisions, who use sexuality to try and advance their careers, that should be something that is
looked at as well,
rejected as well, right? That there's that piece of it too that I think should be part of the conversation. By the way, the activist was Tarana Burke, who originally started this Me Too campaign a decade ago, and it's been repopularized by Hollywood celebrities, including, by the way, Hollywood celebrities in Congress. Claire McCaskill and Senator Pocahontas shared their stories.
I'm sure there's something that happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do? Are they trying to get a starring role in one of Harvey Weinstein's films, or is
Claire McCaskill recounted when she was a state lawmaker in Missouri, quote, I cautiously approached the very powerful Speaker of the Missouri House of Representatives. He looked at me. She was approaching him about a piece of legislation. He looked at me and paused and said, well, did you bring your knee pads?
Gross.
I do think he was joking, but it was shocking that he would make that joke to a colleague. Okay, that's a fair point that she has. Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, please. I'm chomping at the bit to know what happened to her.
She shared a story about how a male colleague chased her around a desk after inviting her to meet in his office. He slammed the door and lunged for me. It was like a bad cartoon. He's chasing me around the desk trying to get his hands on me. After several rounds, I jumped for the door and got out and went back to my office and just sat and shook and thought, what have I done to bring this on? No word if that individual is Larry Tribe or not. Senator Heidi Heitkamp also said, as Attorney General, a male law enforcement official put his finger in my face and said, listen here, men will always beat their wives and you can't stop them. Really? Senator Mazie Hirono, another Democrat from Hawaii. It's interesting that they only asked the Democrat legislators. That's how Meet the Press is. Only Democrat women exist. It's just kind of interesting. A lot of Republican women I'd like to hear opine on this as well, yeah. Mazie Hirono, Democrat senator from Hawaii, said, I've been propositioned by teachers, by my colleagues, you name it. Okay, so this is everybody, sharing their tales of woe, and I don't mean that sarcastically. And this against the backdrop of another apparent Hollywood sleazebag being outed, James Toback, writer and director. 38 women have come forward in a story published in the LA Times over the weekend, alleging things like, that are Weinstein quality.
Yeah, I mean that he harassed women in hotel rooms, in movie trailers, public parks, and that he would bring them into his hotel room to quote unquote, try out for certain roles, and then he would dry hump them, gross, and do other things. If you want to list those, you can. Masturbate
in front of them, simulate sexual intercourse with them.
That's the dry hump, yeah.
Yeah. Toback, first screenplay, The Gambler, came out in 1974, starring James Caan, that remade a couple years ago with Mark Wahlberg. He wrote The Pickup Artist, that was starring Robert Downey Jr., Molly Ringwald back in the day, Two Girls and a Guy, Harvard Man, a Tyson documentary. He's he won an Oscar for writing Bugsy, starring Warren Beatty.
He's another grossly overweight, disgusting writer and director. in Hollywood.
Yeah, and it's interesting because here we go again. Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn wrote a lengthy Facebook post Sunday about the allegations, saying he has personally met at least 15 women who have said they have had these kind of encounters with Toback, including 3 women he's dated. For over 20 years, I've been bringing up James Toback every chance I could in groups of people, Gunn wrote. I couldn't stop him, but I could warn people about him.
And then on the Weinstein side, Heather Kerr, remember her? She was an actress. And she came forward on Friday with a tearful recount of what he did to her.
He told me that this was how things worked in Hollywood and that all of the actresses that had made it this way. Not long after that, I quit acting.
That may be the way that it was. It is not the way it will be in the future. Because, Harvey, you and others like you are done.
Is that right? I'm sorry, does Gloria Allred's daughter agree, who was repping Harvey Weinstein? Did anybody ask her that?
That's so weird.
Anybody ask Gloria Allred that? Yeah, probably not. Louis C.K. Louis C.K., he gets political as a comedian. You know, he hates on Trump like the rest to be part of the In Club.
And you said that Donald Trump was an insane bigot.
Yeah.
And Hitler. Okay?
Yeah.
You did say that, okay?
Well, I don't take it back. I regret it. There's a difference.
What is the difference?
I regret saying it. It doesn't mean it's not true. It's a messy thing, you know?
Sure.
It's how I was feeling at the time. He's just a lion sack of I mean, it's just like, it's just simple. It's just gross. He's just a gross, crook, dirty, rotten lion sack of That's how I feel. And that's...
Speaking of gross and messy, Louis C.K. Salon.com is hashtag MeToo coming for Louis C.K. Because remember, there were these stories out about the time of Weinstein's public humiliation that there were other shoes to drop. Maybe Toback was one of them. Not that high profile, but a long 40-year career in Hollywood. And there was also talk about like an A-list actor maybe has the same history.
Oh, yeah.
And perhaps others, including Louis C.K. There is rumors about Louis C.K. locking the door and masturbating in front of female comics and writers for his show. Roseanne Barr summed up the most circulated rumor well, as I just described. I can tell you I've heard so many stories, Roseanne Barr said of Louis C.K. She's not the only one to speak up. Louis C.K. has been previously asked about it, and he just essentially says, I won't dignify rumors by commenting on them because it just fuels the rumors. He, it's interesting, though, he's got a movie out. Boy, the timing.
Oh, my gosh, what's the title?
I Love You, Daddy. In this film, Louis C.K. is a TV writer whose underage daughter becomes romantically involved with a much older and very famous filmmaker known for dating younger women. At the end of the trailer for I Love You, Daddy, it's this. I mean, everybody's a pervert. I'm a pervert. We're all perverts. Who cares? And now you've got left-wing celeb sites like Jezebel putting out a call for tips of alleged misconduct against C.K. and calling on C.K. to come clean.
Watch your words, Dan.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
You said, yeah. But I think it's everywhere now because, I mean, even now people are accusing some high ex at Fidelity Investment of sexual harassment. I think everything, not only Hollywood, but everywhere stories are going to come out.
Well, I mean, there was a story about the Evanston drama teacher out last week about him molesting children, male children, over the course of many decades in Evanston. Now he has been essentially barred from the campus for now.
Good. He should be in jail, though.
Well, these stories don't get as much profile, though, when they don't become jokes, when it happens at a public school, when it's male on male. Where's the profile in the Evanston Township High School story?
Harvey Weinstein might be going to jail, though, because there's a case, that we mentioned in L.A. where they interviewed that woman. Statute of limitations has not run out on that case. And in New York and in London, where 2 other alleged rapes happened, they have no statute of limitations. So I think he's going to be spending some time in jail and not rehab.
Another story that broke over the weekend, John Besh, B-E-S-H, Besh, the Best Restaurant Group. He's a celebrity chef.
Mm-hmm.
25 women have come forward during an 8-month investigation against him down in New Orleans, including 9 who agreed to have their names published in a story about his boorish behavior and trying to leverage his position as the owner of these co-owner of this restaurant group to,
I
get
hope he
women to
didn't
sleep
do
with him.
anything with a potted plant.
No, that's not described in here, but it was interesting how he responded. He said, essentially, to anyone who was offended by my behavior, I apologize. That's not it's the same thing as taking ownership of the behavior, right? It's the whole, if you were offended, I'm sorry, right? The non-apology apology. So there seems to be smoke there as well with Mr. Besh as well. There's a very good piece in The Guardian over the weekend by Thomas Frank, who's a liberal, by the way. What's the matter with Kansas? Thomas Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about the elite left, most exemplified by Weinstein. In a world of the wealthy, liberalism is something you do to offset your rapacious behavior in other spheres. It's no coincidence that in Weinstein's desperate first response to the accusations against him, he thought to promise war against the NRA and to support scholarships for women. But it's also something deeper than that. Most people of the left think of themselves as resistors of authority, but for certain of their leaders, modern-day liberalism is a way of rationalizing and exercising class power. Specifically, the power of what some like to call the creative class, by which they mean the execs in industries like Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and Hollywood. Worshipping these very special people is the doctrine that has allowed Democrats to pull even with Republicans in fundraising, and that has buoyed the party's fortunes in every wealthy suburb in America. Modern-day liberalism, I just go back to this phrase, modern-day liberalism is a way of rationalizing and exercising class power. I think that's a really important insight that Thomas Frank has. Paul on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, several years ago, Kristen Gillibrand, senator from New York, complained about being groped and sexually harassed in the Senate chambers and hallways and elevators. And an intrepid reporter walked up to her and asked her, why are these members who are doing this to you, are they Democrats or Republicans? And, of course, she clammed up and walked away.
Thanks for the call, Paul. Chris in Kansasville.
I don't know if you're aware, but the Democrats and the journalists accused Rebecca Clayfish in Wisconsin of all sorts of stuff, that never happened. But, the only way she could get to the top was to do this, that, and the other thing. They seem to be wanting it both ways.
Yes, wanting it both ways.
I know, and I'm so
Thanks for
sick
the
of
call,
those
Chris.
stories of, she's only an anchor because of what she did with the general manager and all that. Not true. I'm sure there's some cases where that might have happened, but any successful woman, they think that she automatically slept her way to the top. And I could go on and on about reporters and anchors that I've heard of that have done things, and they didn't do anything. They were just allegations. They were just rumors. I don't know why they did that.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Coming up next, Gretchen Carlson talking about settlements. Maybe women are to blame because they settle with their accusers, and that silences the victim. But first, your forecast for today. It's just going to be yucky out there. Bring a coat, bring an umbrella. We're going to have rain on and off throughout the day, a high of 60. Tonight, occasional rain, a low of 44. And tomorrow, we're not going to get out of the 40s, folks. It's going to be cloudy, windy, and I can't rule out a chance of a shower or two. Let's get into our alarm detection, large detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, traffic soggy too. Eastbound 8094 has delays. Indianapolis Boulevard, Kennedy Avenue with a crash on the left shoulder. Westbound, it's okay for now. Eden's 36 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 56 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound an hour and 9 minutes. Yike, an hour and 3 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound the same. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes. 355 to the drive, outbound 53 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes. 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound, slow 120 to 176. And from the Toohey Avenue to the Adams Tollway northbound, jam Southwest Highway to 31st and Roosevelt up to the Toohey Toll. The other tollways are heavy too. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you like that campus reform man on the street interview about the Trump tax plan, you'll love this week's Follow the Logic at upstream-ideas.com. Follow the Logic is our man on the street segments. This week it's on the religious test that senators like Saca Durbin and Di-Fi want to apply to judicial nominees and other presidential appointees. That's one of our series at upstream-ideas.com, including my 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries, 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at the Illinois Opportunity Project, long-form interviews with policymakers and opinion leaders at Against the Current, our series Heart of the Matter featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day, and also don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com. Defendhomeowners.com. You can download the petition we're circulating to get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot to cap property taxes at 1% of home value in Illinois, like Indiana has. So you can participate in that if you want to do something about the property tax situation in Illinois. And you can also find out about property tax impact on your home by getting a free report at defendhomeowners.com. And you can find it all at upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I started out vomiting with migraines at the age of 19, and about 10 years later, it got to the point where it was almost every day. This stuck with me for about another 20 years. When I was introduced to this balance of nature, I couldn't believe how quickly the triggers that would cause these migraines just went away.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Roof is needy?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof is leaky? Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Shingles are curly?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy? Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
Since 1953, the roof guys for your home and business.
We fix roof problems.
Get it done before the winter comes.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options. Then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Grumweedy. How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Call us. We make sure your warranty is in place. Crumweedy, 630...
Wait. Just remember, myroofisneedy.com.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. Square Trade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to Square Trade phone protection instead for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. Square Trade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to Square Trade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to Square Trade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Noruzzi Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Congressman Adam Kinzinger at 7:37. That Toyota Mazda assembly plant not coming to Rochelle or DeKalb. That's Kinzinger's district. We'll talk about Illinois' business climate and Trump's tax plan at 7:37.
And Maisha Johnson has spoken. You'll hear from the widow and how she feels about President Trump's phone call. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Rain showers and 52 degrees. At 7:31, sentencing for Army deserter Bo Bergdahl begins today at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Military judge is expected to hear a range of testimony from several witnesses over several days. Bergdahl, in this case, has already pleaded guilty in the case last week. Another major Hollywood player is accused of sexual harassment. More than 36 women accuse 72-year-old writer and director James Toback of sexually harassing them. Toback denies the claims. White nationalist leader Richard Spencer is suing Ohio State University. The suit was filed yesterday by a Michigan law firm that claims Spencer's free speech rights are being violated. Red flag warnings for dangerous fire conditions are in effect from Santa Barbara down to San Diego in California as record temperatures and Santa Ana winds make fire conditions even worse in Southern California tomorrow. Actor and Wahlburgers co-owner Mark Wahlberg is apparently on board with Detroit's bid for the second North American headquarters for Amazon. In fact, Wahlberg made a pitch for Detroit yesterday at his Greektown, Detroit restaurant.
Jeff Bezos, come on, buddy. This is the home of America Industrial.
The actor issuing a plea on camera to Amazon's Jeff Bezos to come to the Midwest and to Michigan, said he'd eventually call him personally. 4 of the 5 Wheaton College football players accused of hazing a teammate last year are due in DuPage County Court yesterday to formally enter pleas in that case. The 2018 Illinois governor's race is on pace to be one of the most expensive in U.S. history, and Republican incumbent Bruce Rauner is expected to officially launch a re-election bid on video today. And a disabled man is safe, rescued from a burning home in Des Plaines by 2 police officers who were called to the blaze yesterday morning in the 300 block of South Westgate Road. Those officers rushed into that home and removed the disabled man. They were later treated for smoke inhalation and other minor injuries. No one else was hurt. Rookie safety Eddie Jackson had a day in the NFL. 2 defensive touchdowns of 75 yards or more. The Bears win over the Panthers, 17-3. Bulls on the road tomorrow facing the Cavaliers. Blackhawks close out their road swing in Las Vegas. And the Phoenix Suns have fired their head coach, Earl Watson, 3 games into the NBA season. The news, a service of Audible.com. Audible turns traffic into an escape with mysteries, sci-fi bestsellers, and motivation. Ride with Audible and transform your commute with an unbeatable selection of audiobooks. Start a 30-day trial and your first one is free. Go to audible.com. 7:34, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Build the wall. Build it. Build the wall. That wall on our southern border, get it done. Get it built. Build it now, doggone it. If you think I'm going to say anything else, you are profoundly mistaken. Build the wall. I want a wall on our southern border. I want to keep people out. Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Build it.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. If you're purchasing a home within the next year, this is very important. Your credit score is the most important factor in determining your interest rate and monthly payments. I strongly advise listeners purchasing a home to contact me as far in advance as possible so I can pre-qualify you for free. I will analyze your credit and make recommendations to improve your credit scores so you can secure the lowest rate when purchasing a home. Paying banks and other lenders a fee to get pre-qualified is ridiculous. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com and get pre-qualified for free. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358, and MLS 19186.
7:35. Let's get an update on the ride to work. We do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. 53 has delays this morning northbound Algonquin to Northwest Highway, southbound Rand to Kirchhoff. The northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway is heavy. Before Boughton, most of the way to St. Charles, and the Army Trail toll to 290. Tri-State southbound slow 120 to 176. And from Dempster to the Adams Tollway, northbound Southwest Highway to 31st, and from Roosevelt to the Toohey Toll. Eastbound Adams Tollway delays lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway 25, most of the way to the Eisenhower. Edens, 36 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 26. Kennedy, an hour and 17 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound an hour. The Eisenhower's an hour and 2 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound the same. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes. 3:55 to the drive, outbound 53 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes. 95th to downtown. Traffic, service of Farmers Insurance. As the road you travel changes, so do your insurance needs. Talking with a farmer's agent can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Find an agent at farmers.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Rain this morning, followed by afternoon showers. High 60. Cloudy with spotty rain overnight. Breezy, a low of 44 and a high only of 49 tomorrow. 52 at O'Hare. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, point of personal privilege today. If you're interested in media, a discussion of media in this increasingly partisan environment where media, in my estimation, has become more about pushing a narrative than practicing journalism. A panel discussion today I'm moderating for Truth in Accounting at DePaul University, their campus downtown on Jackson Boulevard, which will feature Kristen McQuarrie from the Chicago Tribune, longtime PR honcho, Rick Jaskolka, Thurman, and others. So you can check that out. Admission's free. Go to the Truth in Accounting website for more information. It's 3:30 to 5 o'clock at DePaul's downtown campus today. But for more on the salient issues of the day, media being just one of them, local and national, we're pleased to be joined by Congressman Adam Kinzinger, Republican congressman from the 16th Congressional District, which includes some exurban areas like DeKalb, Rochelle. And we find out, Adam, that Toyota Mazda, their joint project that's supposed to generate 4,000 jobs, new assembly plant, Rochelle, DeKalb, initially, that region initially in the running, now out of the running. And I wonder how you react to that and what it says about Illinois' business climate.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing. And good morning, guys, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Look, we had a lot of folks, because those are both areas obviously in my district, and we were excited and optimistic about the opportunity to get another car plant, get people to work, and really, if you look at the Rockford area and Rochelle and DeKalb, it is making a comeback in terms of manufacturing. It has a great tradition of manufacturing. But, look, I knew even from the beginning that this was an uphill climb because people forget this. The Illinois economy is the 5th largest economy in the country. So we have all the stuff here that we need to be extremely successful. You look at the roads, bridges, airports, waterways, et cetera. But Springfield's what's messed up. And, we just got a tax increase with no reforms basically to back it up. And, this is why we have to continue to try to take back Springfield. And hopefully someday Mike Madigan decides to hang it up or his district decides he needs to go.
Well, against that backdrop, Governor Rauner announcing his reelection bid today. You were one of the members of the Republican caucus, all who signed a letter of rebuke against the governor for signing House Bill 40, the new open-ended entitlement program to fund abortion on demand. First governor in U.S. history to do that. And that's just one of the issues, a lot of fiscal issues you're describing. I mean, he's had 3 years. Where are you on continued support for Governor Rauner as the Republican nominee for governor in 2018?
Well, look, I'll support his reelection because I want him to have an opportunity to go back to the table and try to get Illinois fixed. I think when it comes to business issues, the governor is right on. I am extremely, extremely disappointed at him signing HB 40, and in fact, the entire Republican House caucus. We put out a statement, kind of earlier, a letter to the governor before he signed it, saying, "Hey, don't do this," because even if this doesn't violate the technicality of what's called the Hyde Amendment, which is taxpayer funding for abortion, I mean, the reality is to have Medicaid pay for abortion services. Money's fungible, so we're actually in the process of trying to get a ruling in terms of how this is legal, although it may be. But then after he signed it, this is a little behind-the-scenes peek. We all got together in somebody's office, all the members, and we're just like expressing how disgusted we were at it and what do we do to follow up. And that on top of the sanctuary state issue, there's been some disappointments. But that said,
have you spoken with him personally? Have you spoken to Governor Rauner personally? Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal all those conversations, but we were all very clear.
Well,
and,
just on HB 40 and talking about money being fungible into the Medicaid program, which we can't finance. We couldn't finance before Obamacare Medicaid expansion. And now we're going from tracking from 1 in 5 Illinoisans on Medicaid to under Obamacare's Medicaid expansion, 1 in 3 can't pay it, so we don't pay Medicaid providers, so they stop accepting Medicaid patients. And Governor Rauner has been intransigent in protecting Obamacare Medicaid expansion. That's an economic issue as well.
Yeah, and look, I think, on the specific issue of abortion, though, I think he would have been I get that he's always said he's pro-abortion, and we elected him knowing that, but I think he would have been very justified in saying, but I don't believe taxpayers should pay for it. But, to the broader issue, if I'm staring at the idea of, Bruce Rauner, who I think has actually been pretty honorable in trying to really change Springfield and really has faced that Madigan machine that he's broken. When I look at him versus all the people the Democrats are putting up, it's no question for me that I would vote again and support Bruce Rauner's reelection.
Okay. President Trump has gotten into kind of this debate about phone calls and addressing Gold Star families. I know you've been on this show before talking about his tweets and everything, but do you hope that this, and especially on this topic, that he will stop tweeting about it?
Yeah, it's really interesting because in my kind of soul on this one, I'm kind of a little upset at both sides. I wish the president wouldn't tweet about it. He needs to be bigger than this issue. He needs to, do his solemn duty, which he did, and he's gone way above and beyond what a lot of presidents have by making that call, because not all presidents do, and frankly, they necessarily shouldn't make the call to every fallen soldier. It's I think kind of a case-by-case situation. But I tell you where I was extremely irate is to see Frederica Wilson come out and make this a political issue immediately. And look, I know her. I was elected with her in 2010. She came to the floor of the House of Representatives and started complaining because we wouldn't let anybody wear hats on the floor. Oh. And not just saying, hey, I want to wear my hat. She said, it's sexist. It's sexist that we can't wear hats. This is the same lady that just said that since the chief of staff said something was racist, she was an empty barrel, she immediately jumped to, that's a racist term. Not everything is an if. And for her, which I think she literally woke up in the morning and said, this is a great issue I can make national attention on. To me, it's just sad to see, this whole thing. There's got to be some things that are free from politics, and unfortunately, even this isn't now.
So then General Kelly, in your estimation, does not owe Representative Wilson the apology that she's demanding.
Hell no. I mean, I think, look, to see General Kelly stand up as a Gold Star father with the anger he had and defending the president's call, General Kelly was there. I don't think he owes her an apology. Did he misstate a fact about her maybe taking credit for an FBI building? Sure. But that is way different than somebody accusing the president of basically callously calling a fallen family. Look, I was no fan of Barack Obama, but I would never accuse Barack Obama of making a call to a family without their best intention in mind. I believe that every decision the president made to send troops into combat, even President Obama, he did with a very heavy heart.
So I want to go back to the hat issue so she can now wear hats on the House floor because you guys said it was okay?
No, so you can't wear hats. There's dress codes. I have to wear a suit and tie every time I'm on the House floor.
Okay.
Nobody can wear a hat because, we have dress codes. And she wears a hat all the time. And when she came in 2010, we said, hey, Frederica, sorry you can't wear a hat because there's rules, and this is the House of Representatives. And she complained about it. You can find this, just Google this, whatever combination of words to get there. And she claimed we were being sexist, we being the House of Representatives, because we wouldn't let people hat, disregarding the fact that it used to be the gentlemen that wore the hats all the time when they were banned.
Right. And I mean, and this also goes back, just to be even-handed about this, the same thing happened when Ted Kennedy wanted to wear his bikini inspector T-shirt on the Senate floor. He was not allowed to do that either. He had to wear a suit and tie. Yeah. So, everything's fair here.
And he couldn't wear that beer can hat either.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. So, there's been other instances where the men have been disciplined, just to be fair to Representative Wilson. Adam, Paul Ryan saying, you guys aren't going anywhere until you pass tax reform, so you better get your work done, and hopefully McConnell takes the same approach. What's the tenor in the House to move the broad outlines of the Trump tax plan?
I think it's good. I fully agree with the speaker. I think, I want to celebrate Christmas, so I really hope we get it done before Christmas, but this is our priority. And so, I look, I think the House side, the House has never been the problem this year. I think, we passed repeal, replace. We're going to pass tax reform. Now, look, this will die 100 or 200 deaths before we get it done, in the media. But I think we're going to get it done. The real question is the Senate. Let me be honest here. The biggest holdup in the Senate right now is not John McCain or Collins like it was, with health care. It's Rand Paul who's coming out and basically knee-jerk opposing this thing before he even knows what's in it.
And that's why the president and that's why the president keeps saying, I think Rand Paul is going to vote for it. I think Rand Paul is going to vote for it. It's almost like subliminal messaging to Rand Paul.
Yeah, that's what I hope so. The president's good at compelling people, and I hope this is going to work because, look, I know Rand Paul, and my tendency is to think that Rand is always against anything that can pass. So my hope is he gets on board with this because this is what makes us conservative Republicans refreshing for the first time in a generation the tax code, and this would be a good thing for all Americans.
Well, how would it help Illinoisans and especially people in your district if it was passed?
Well, so anytime Illinoisans can keep more of their money, whether it's from Springfield or Washington, D.C., they're better off. They can buy a little bit of a nicer car or take a vacation or, hire another employee. And if we're going to take, the corporate tax rate down to where we're somewhat competitive with the rest of the world, if we're going to allow companies to bring their parts cash overseas and reinvest in the United States, that's trillions of dollars that's been wanting to come back here. One of the big recipients of that's going to be Illinois and, frankly, the 16th district because it's a heavy manufacturing tradition. And not to mention, just the simplification of the taxes. We're legit. We've talked about this ever since I've paid attention to politics, filing your taxes on a postcard. We're actually going to do that. If this passes, most people will be able to fill out a postcard and fire their taxes in. And that would just be, I think refreshing as much as even just the money that we're going to get back.
I think it would be so great. It would even incentivize MSNBC hosts to file tax returns. That's how profound this could be. Adam Kinzinger, 16th Congressional District, Republican Representative. Adam, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. See ya.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, what happens when you don't shower?
As you know, I'm living proof.
But first, here's your forecast today. You can shower in the rain because it's going to be coming down all day long. High today of 60 degrees. Tonight, cloudy, occasional rain. Breezy, a low of 44. And tomorrow, we're lucky if we get out of the 40s, but it doesn't look good. A high projected of 49 degrees with breezy conditions, showers on and off throughout the day. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center with Jim Telemonte. Is there any ponding water out there?
Ponding water and ponding crashes. There are a lot of them right now, especially in the suburbs. So allow a little extra time in following distance. It'll make things at least a little less miserable. Travel times are miserable enough. Kennedy is an hour and 17 minutes from O'Hare to downtown, 39 minutes from Montrose, 32 on the Express, outbound an hour to the airport. Edens, 32 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 40. Eisenhower, an hour and 13 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, 51 minutes from Mannheim, outbound an hour and 19 to Thorndale. The Stevenson is an hour and 19 minutes, 3:55 to the drive, outbound 48 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, very heavy southbound Lawrence to North Avenue and northbound from the Stevenson to Balboa. Tollways are heavy, especially the northbound tri-state. Delays Southwest Highway to 31st and Roosevelt up to the Tui Toll. Veterans Memorial, it's slow from I-55 pretty much all the way up to 290. 53 has delays, I-80 as well. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
When you purchase an alarm system, you do it for one reason above all others. You need to know something about the people or property under your care. Knowing that what matters most will be looked after by professionals when you can't be there is a comforting feeling. At Alarm Detection Systems, we've learned a great deal from our decades of service. We know how to treat customers on the phone. We know that installing quality security products using certified technicians is the only way to go. We know that same-day service and local monitoring will provide the safety and peace of mind you're looking for. You no longer have to wonder if your home or business is protected by your alarm system. Know that it is. At home or on the go, the information you seek is right in your hands. It's good to be in the know. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's 630-844-6300 or online at adsalarm.com. Alarm license number 127000143.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
They really have made a difference. I mean, when I started taking them, I could not tie my shoes because of the knee pain. I have arthritis in it. And I actually bent down and tied my shoes by mistake. I was so used to not being able to do it. I couldn't believe I did it. And that was shortly after starting the Balanced Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
The same banking team you already know and trust at the private bank has come together with one of the strongest banks in North America. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. We share the same focus on building strong client relationships, and we're now backed by a bank with over 150 years of experience in putting clients first. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to helping your business grow is now stronger than ever. Visit us at cibc.com/US. Member FDIC.
The Chicago Symphony Orchestra returns to Wheaton College with a 3-concert series November 10th, January 26th, and March 16th, featuring Schubert's Great C Major Symphony, Mahler's Fifth Symphony, and Riccardo Muti leading the CSO in Mozart's Sinfonia Concertante, featuring CSO Concertmaster Robert Chen and violist Paul Neubauer. Tickets start at $45. For tickets, visit cso.org/Wheaton.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Kurt Penn, founder and CEO of Good Foods. In 2007, I was shopping in a natural foods grocery store and had a vision for a company that would produce fresh, all-natural foods with a social conscience. Signature Bank helped turn that vision into what now is Good Foods. Signature Bank President Mick O'Rourke listened to our story and learned about our business. Mick has been with us every step of the way. Signature Bank takes care of the details so we can focus on producing good foods. Signature Bank is deeply invested in our success. Good Foods is very proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Daily stress is a big deal. Fact is, the terrible impact of stress is very deadly and shortens our lives. Stressed individuals attract diseases, just like blood in the water attracts sharks. Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. I'm the show host of Health Quest Radio, the longest-running health news and science show in Chicago. And for over 33 years, we share practical concepts from a natural healthcare perspective to minimize the need for all those dangerous drugs and risky surgeries. Today, it's our dirt-cheap adrenal stress index test. No blood, just spit. You know, most people flunk on their first go-around signaling adrenal gland distress. And then following our stress-busting strategies, most individuals pass their second test with flying colors. So if you can spare a little spit, call and purchase your first dirt-cheap adrenal stress index test, and we'll hold that same special low price for your follow-up test. Call 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. 800-794-1855. And be sure to tune in to Health Quest Radio this Saturday morning at 11.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
College football programs know the importance of recruiting. If they want to compete at the highest level, they need to bring on the best talent, people who have the skills and drive to be a success. The same is true in business. Recruiting is vital. And with ZipRecruiter, you'll have a smarter and simpler way to assemble your own winning team. With just one click, you can post your job to over 100 job boards. Then ZipRecruiter's matching technology identifies relevant talent fast. 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 24 hours. And your ZipRecruiter dashboard helps keep everything in one place. So it's easy to review and rank the candidates with the best experience. You'll be building a powerhouse program in no time. Choose the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter, proud hiring partner of the Fighting Illini.
For your free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. Once again, for a free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini.
AM 560, The Answer.
Take a quick call, reaction to our discussion with Congressman Kinzinger about the governor's race in particular. Marie in Algonquin.
Yes, good morning. I was all ready to write off the governor for his decision in okaying the bill that came out of the House and the Senate.
The abortion funding bill, yes.
Funded abortions.
Yeah.
And I think your listeners, but I'm 100% pro-life. From cradle to grave, I believe in life. This is clearly going to have to be a situation for me where I'm going to have to choose the lesser of two evils. But I think your listeners who are pro-life need to see how their Illinois state senator, Illinois rep, voted for it, because it did come out both houses.
Yes.
Majority vote in favor.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Marie. I'm sorry we got to cut you off because we're up against the clock. But here's the thing. Right, not a single Republican voted for it. Not a single Republican state legislator voted for what Rauner signed into law. So it was Rauner and the supermajority of Democrats in the General Assembly. So you're right. They should look at their legislators.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, she has spoken, the widow of Sergeant Johnson. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
4 of the 5 Wheaton College football players in court today. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
President Trump says it was a very respectful call. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The widow of a soldier killed in an ambush in Niger confirms the president said to her in a condolence call, her husband knew what he signed up for, but it hurts anyway. Mashia Johnson tells ABC's Good Morning America she cried and was very angry at the tone of the president's voice.
He couldn't remember my husband's name. The only way he remembered my husband's name because he told me he had my husband report in front of him.
The president tweeted after that interview aired, I had a very respectful conversation with the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson and spoke his name from beginning without hesitation. The Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, held by the Taliban for 5 years in Afghanistan, is being sentenced by a military judge in North Carolina. That hearing starts today. Fox's Eben Brown's live.
Chris, Bergdahl pleaded guilty last week to charges of deserting his duty and misbehaving before the enemy, which on paper could merit a death penalty, though it's likely the judge would, at most, send him to prison for life. Soldiers who were injured in the attempts to locate Bergdahl are expected to speak at this hearing. 6 others were said to have been killed in those searches. Bergdahl admits his actions were inexcusable, but that he was only trying to travel to another base to report possible misconduct. Chris?
Eben, thanks. A quick trip to Afghanistan for Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Fox's Simon Owen with more on that.
Chris, the U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan saying the unannounced visit saw Secretary Tillerson reaffirming American commitment to the Afghan government. It follows stops for the Secretary in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, pushing President Trump's message of a tougher approach to Iran. In the Saudi capital, Riyadh, Secretary Tillerson saying Iranian fighters currently in Iraq should leave.
Now that the fight against Daesh and ISIS is coming to a close, those militias need to go home. Any foreign fighters in Iraq need to go home.
He accused Iran of malign behavior.
Simon, thanks. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Rain showers, 52 degrees, and we have gusty north winds at 10 miles an hour. 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 4 of the 5 Wheaton College football players accused of violently hazing a teammate last year are due in court in DuPage County today. Each are expected to enter formal pleas. The suspects have been charged with aggravated battery and mob action. The teammate claims through his criminal defense attorney. The players bound him, beat him, and left him half naked. Chicago police are warning that skimming devices have been found recently on more than a dozen ATMs across the city. Most devices discovered on the north side, 3 confirmed at Walgreens stores. Spending in the 2018 Illinois governor's race is on pace to be the most expensive in U.S. history, and Republican incumbent Governor Bruce Rauner is expected to formally launch a re-election bid today. We are reporting that the governor will reveal his plans in a video. A disabled man is safe, rescued from a burning home in Des Plaines. Authorities were called to that blaze in the 300 block of South Westgate, and police officers then rushed into that home and removed that disabled man. Those officers later had to be treated for smoke inhalation and other minor injuries. Rookie safety Eddie Jackson became the first NFL player to score multiple defensive touchdowns of 25 yards or more in a game, leading the Bears over the Panthers 17-3. That other football, Houston over the Fire 3-0 in their regular season finale. The Bulls and Cavaliers tomorrow, Blackhawks in Las Vegas, and the World Series starts tomorrow as well. The news, a service of Audible.com. Audible turns traffic into an escape. Mystery, sci-fi, bestsellers, and motivation. Ride with Audible. Transform your commute with an unbeatable selection of audiobooks. Start a 30-day trial, and your first one is free. Go to Audible.com. 8:04 time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Hasbro is warning its holiday sales will be disappointing because of the Toys R Us bankruptcy. In the summer quarter, though, Hasbro's business improved because of the popular Transformers and My Little Pony toys. Fidelity is dealing with accusations of sexual harassment and inappropriate workplace conduct and complaints that date back for years. The Wall Street Journal says Fidelity has dismissed a prominent portfolio manager who was with the company for nearly 30 years. The Journal says Fidelity has hired a consulting firm to review complaints of sexual harassment and bullying. Hartford, the insurance company, is buying Aetna's group life and disability business. It will pay nearly $1.5 billion. The parent company of Timberland, the North Face and Wrangler, is reporting a stronger quarter, and VF is raising its outlook for the year. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder is continually dumbfounded by the media.
The Harvey Weinstein scandal is now being used by the left to say, well, Donald Trump did the same thing, so we've elected Donald Trump, we've done Harvey Weinstein. The issue is really, really, really not just what's going on in Hollywood. The issue is, well, Donald Trump.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. Only Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards. No other lender comes close to that level of client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage. It gives our clients a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online in minutes. No one else has anything like it. And our people. Each one of our 17,000-plus team members throughout Detroit, Cleveland, and Phoenix provides absolute client satisfaction each and every day. So why would you go anywhere else to get your mortgage? Go to America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
8:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Kennedy is jammed inbound Cumberland to the Burn Circle. It is an hour and 23 minutes from O'Hare to downtown, 50 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Now about an hour downtown to O'Hare. Edens, 32 minutes from Lake Cook Junction, outbound 40. The Eisenhower, an hour and 13 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, 51 minutes from Manheim. And outbound 54 to Manheim, an hour and 19 to Thorndale. To Stevenson, an hour and 19 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 48 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 47 minutes. I-8, the Merge, 40 on the Bishop Ford. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, it's sticky from Foster North Avenue, northbound from Stevenson to Balboa. Southbound Tri-State delays, 21 to the Lake Forest Oasis, and Gulf to the Adams Tollway. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st, Roosevelt, Toohey Toll, Reagan Tollway. Just a mess with delays from 25 most of the way to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial from I-55 most of the way up to 290. Southbound 53 jammed at Dundee to Kirchhoff. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Little morning rain, otherwise a mainly cloudy day, high 60. Tonight, periods of rain, breezy late at night, low 44. Tomorrow, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour with showers during the day, high 49. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Rain and 52 at O'Hare. Some fog out there as well. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. on AM 560. Explore the wonderful world of wine with hosts James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So Sergeant LaDavid Johnson's widow, Maisha, spoke to
George Stephanopoulos,
Clinton Foundation Donor Zero on GMA this morning about the call she received from the president.
It was a big get because everybody's trying to get her on, because we've heard from her friend, Congresswoman Wilson, the family friend, and everyone wanted to hear from her. So first she started off the conversation reminding us about her husband.
Well, I want the world to know how great of a soldier my husband was and a loving and caring father and husband he was to our family.
And that was nice because she reminded us of the valiant efforts.
Great.
She's, pregnant. She's due with her third child
Yes.
on January 29th. But her question, why did it take so long for them to find him? 48 hours. And when his casket arrived at Dover Air Force Base, she wanted to see inside the casket, and they wouldn't let her.
The questions that I have that I need answered is I want to know why it took them 48 hours to find my husband. Why couldn't I see my husband? Every time I asked to see my husband, they wouldn't let me.
What did they tell you?
They'll tell me that he's in a severe rap. Like, I won't be able to see him. I need to see him so I will know that is my husband. I don't know nothing. They won't show me a finger, a hand. I know my husband's body from head to toe. And they won't let me see anything. I don't know what's in that box. It could be empty for all I know. But I need to see my husband. I haven't seen him since he came home.
I gotta say, I agree with her. I would want to see that was my husband.
It's her choice, and the questions that she has, and frankly, the questions that Representative Frederica Wilson has raised, and not raised alone, about what happened with the ambush that took the lives of four servicemen, including Sergeant Johnson. Those are questions that should be answered. And, by the way, the White House agrees, and General Kelly agrees, and General Mattis agrees, and the investigation is underway, and people are not going to forget about this. They want the timeline. They want an explanation. The question she asks, the question she raised about the 48 hours to find him is perfectly legitimate, and it's going to take time, I suspect, to put together the pieces of what happened such that you can provide a credible, fact-based explanation for what happened. You're talking about a distant battlefield, remote areas, secret missions. This is, not easy to reconstruct in a short period of time. And so measure twice and cut once, I think, is the appropriate course of action to make sure you're providing all the information that you believe you're going to be able to provide to the widows as well as to the American people. And I don't see any reason to believe that the administration is doing anything less.
Yeah. Well, here's the question that everybody wanted answered. The phone call from President Trump. What did he say, and how did it make you, Maisha, feel?
Me and my family was in the limo to receive my husband from, I think that was Dover we went to. Dover. And we was literally on the airport strip getting ready to get out. And he called Master Sergeant Neil's phone. I asked Master Sergeant Neil to put his phone on speaker so my aunt and uncle could hear as well. And he goes on to saying his statement as what he said was...
The president?
Yes, the president said that he knew what he signed up for, but it hurts anyways. And it made me cry because I was very angry at the tone of his voice and how he said it. Like he couldn't remember my husband's name. The only way he remembered my husband's name because he told me he had my husband report in front of him. And that's when he actually said, La David. I heard him stumbling on trying to remember my husband's name. And that what hurt me the most, because if my husband is out here fighting for our country and he risks his life for our country, why can't you remember his name? And that would make me upset and cry even more, because my husband was an awesome soldier. He did what it takes other soldiers like 5 years to do in 3 years. So imagine if my husband was here now. It took my husband 3 years to make E5. It takes other soldiers 5 to 6 years just to make an E5. So if he was here now, he would have been on his way to being an E6 or an E7. My husband had high hopes in the military career.
I'm going to take the position that the Democrats said that everyone should take during the campaign, where they suggested Gold Star families are off limits. except General John Kelly, except his family. That's not off limits. I'm not going to criticize Mrs. Johnson. I think, however she interpreted. The only thing I will say is you heard from General Kelly at the press conference on Thursday about the president seeking advice and counsel from him. Mm-hmm. And he recounted the conversation he had with General Dumford, who was General Kelly's casualty officer, and the conversation they had when General Kelly's son was killed in service to this country. And the discussion was about knowing what he signed up for, knowing that part of it is, right, that part of the blank check, it includes sacrificing your life for your nation. And so I think this is my interpretation. You can take that interpretation as callous without context once you consider what General Kelly said and the conversation he had with General Dumford and what he relayed to the president. I think you can see a fairly straight, logical strain where he's trying to essentially suggest how honorable Sergeant Johnson is by talking about what all servicemen and women do, which is they know what they're potentially exposing themselves to when they enlist and when they go on a dangerous mission like Sergeant Johnson did. And so I think it was an attempt to pay tribute, not an attempt to be dismissive. She took it differently, perhaps. Okay, fine. I'm just explaining the context of this based on what General Kelly had to say. And the other thing I would just say, and this is not about Mrs. Johnson, but just generally speaking, I just go back to this again and again. The idea that a president of the United States, regardless of who the president is, doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt in making a call to a Gold Star family to offer condolences and so forth, that any president would call a Gold Star family to be insulting or denigrating. To me, it's just absurd.
I know. And it could have been the reaction. Maybe she was looking at Representative Wilson's face, and maybe she was horrified. And I mean, because there were other people listening in on that phone call.
Right.
She didn't call President Trump a liar, but this infighting between President Trump and Representative Wilson, who said what, she's sticking on Wilson's side.
The president said that the Congresswoman was lying about the phone call.
Whatever Miss Wilson said was not fabricated. What she said was 100% correct. It was Master Sergeant Neal, me, my aunt, my uncle, and the driver, and Miss Wilson in the car. The phone was on speakerphone. Why would we fabricate something like that?
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Take your reactions to what Maisha Johnson had to say. Now, just one other note here. Over the weekend, because of this controversy, another Gold Star widow named Natasha D. Alencar, who lost her husband in April, he was killed in Afghanistan, Army Staff Sergeant Mark D. Alencar, released the video that was taken of the call she received from President Trump back in April. She said in posting the video that she wanted everyone to see that not only myself, not only my family, not only the people gave the support, but the commander-in-chief also helped. Here's that phone call.
Yes, sir.
I am so sorry to hear about the whole situation. What a horrible thing, except that he's an unbelievable hero. And, all of the people that served with him are saying how incredible he was.
Yes, sir.
And just an amazing guy. And
Hello, sir.
He's a great hero.
I want to thank you, President Trump. Those words are very kind. He was an amazing man, an amazing husband, and an amazing soldier. And I couldn't be more proud of my husband than I am right now, sir.
And they went on to talk about her family. She has 5 children. One of them plays football at Missouri. And
he seemed impressed. He's like, that's a good program. I mean, he must be a good player to play for them.
So just a very different reaction, maybe a very different conversation. I don't know. But
he's not the monster that Wilson's painting him out to be.
Well, right, and this, based this controversy prompting Mrs. De Alencar to post the video, that says something as well.
President Trump has tweeted, I had a very respectful conversation with the widow of Sergeant David Johnson and spoke his name from beginning without hesitation.
Bob in Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I was in the military at the end of the Vietnam War. Fortunately, I didn't have to go, but I was in the Marine Corps from 72 to 76. And I think that everybody just needs to stand back and cut some people some slack here. Maisha is a grieving widow who has Frederica Wilson in her face 24 hours a day. Like I said, it's a $500 hat on a 5-cent head. But President Trump needs to be given some slack also. Maisha is grieving, and whatever she goes through, we got to cut her some slack. Just like the family who lost their daughter in the freezer in Chicago. Those people have a right to grieve, and they have a right to be angry, and you just got to let them go through what they go through, because they're the ones who have the trauma visited upon them. But I think we also need to cut President Trump some slack, because you do not call a grieving widow who just lost her military husband to send condolences and end up on the Frederica Wilson gravy train here.
Yeah, no.
You have to be a moron to not think that was not a good thing to do. I was in the military, and you have General Kelly, who gives Donald Trump what a military man said to him. When the grievance committee came, the person who told him was another general. Well, when you're talking with two military men, and one says to the other, your son knew what he signed up for, as a former military man, that doesn't bother me a bit. I understand that perfectly, because I was in, and I could have died if I had gone to Vietnam. So I totally understand that. But Donald Trump is not articulate. He uses big, grandiose words, and he doesn't find his thought until the sixth sentence sometimes. So he just took General Kelly's grievance call, and tried to make it his own.
Yeah.
And you don't say to a civilian, your son know what he signed up for. That was the mistake. It wasn't a grave sin. But the Democrats are never going to let anything go, because only in a perfect world could you cut somebody some slack.
Thanks for the call, Bob. Appreciate that, and I think that's a really good point. I think that's exactly right. Cut everybody some slack and take this out of the political arena. Agreed. Everybody can have their say, especially the Gold Star family, however they want to, and just leave it alone. Totally agree. Jim and Wilmette.
Hi. If you've been following Donald Trump since he started the presidential campaign, you know that he's not always the most eloquent or sensitive speaker in the world. But this was essentially a private, sensitive phone call, and it was Congresswoman Wilson who decided to run right out on TV and make political hay of it.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
People saying that there are both sides here, that's fine. But the truth is that it would not have been a political event, and this would not be politicized if she had expressed her concerns privately and kept what really was a private matter private.
Thanks.
That's why it's a football.
Thanks for the call, Jim. Bob in Waukegan. Gold Star Dad?
Yes. I just can't tell you enough how deeply emotional this has made for a lot of Gold Star families. I was with approximately 15 Gold Star families on Saturday when we had our Gold Star family get-together. We just don't want politics involved in this. We just want to be left alone at this. And it is just a tremendous, in our instance, it's just a tremendous, we leave the president alone, leave the family alone, leave us alone. That's all I want to say about this. It's nothing to do with politics at all. Can't say anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Bob,
Thank
for
you.
sharing.
Thank you, Bob. Condolences on your loss. We appreciate you calling in to express that opinion. Thank you.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Rain this morning, followed by showers and spots by this afternoon, a high of 60 degrees. Then tonight we're going to have occasional rain. It's going to be cool of 44 degrees. And tomorrow just pretty raw around here. Considerable cloudiness, windy, cooler showers, a high, if we're lucky, in the upper 40s. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Hey, me and Dan, it's heavy. Kennedy, an hour and 21 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. 54 minutes from Montrose. 46 in the Express. Outbound an hour to the airport. Eden's 32 minutes from Lake Cook to the Kennedy. Outbound 40. The Eisenhower, an hour and 13 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound an hour and 19. Stevenson, an hour and 19 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 48 minutes. Ryan, 37 minutes. 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound slow 120 to the Lake Forest Oasis, and Gulf to the Adams Tollway northbound, Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Toohey Toll. Adams Tollway delays 59 to Barrington, and from the Des Plaines Oasis to Tri-State, Reagan Veterans Memorial still very heavy as well. You see delays on I-80 eastbound Harlem before I-57. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
We should also say, too, we thank Bob from Waukegan, his family, for their service to this country, and obviously his son or daughter, I don't know which, who was killed in service to this nation. Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on the show each morning. Long-form interviews are Against the Current series with policymakers and opinion leaders. Podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. My 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries, 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at the Illinois Opportunity Project. Heart of the Matter, that's our series featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day and their impact on family and household budgets, as well as our sister site, defendhomeowners.com. Petition there now for an advisory ballot question. We're trying to get on the 2018 ballot to cap property taxes at 1% of home value, just like Indiana has, to stop the taking of your home by government through rapacious property taxes. So you can get active that way. You can also download a free report on your home and the impact property taxes is having on its value. Defendhomeowners.com, upstream-ideas.com.
Hi, this is Vance from Armbrust Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Armbrust Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning is a 100-year-old company in the center of DuPage County. The only way that we can exist doing work with the same people decade after decade and their children and their grandchildren is by being an honest and ethical company doing what's in our clients' best interest so they refer us generation after generation. And at Armbrust Plumbing, we are always looking out for our clients' best interests by getting the job done right the first time with fair and honest pricing. Accomplish that, we only hire technicians with experience. All of our technicians at Armbrust have had at least 5 years of field experience combined with classroom experience. Our technicians are the best in the industry. They're the best trained in the industry, and they all value what they do as a career. We occupied the same shop for nearly 50 years. Now we moved to a more modern facility to better serve our clients in Carroll Stream. We service the DuPage County area and western Kane counties.
Armbrust Plumbing and Heating Solutions. Find them at armbrustsolutions.com. ARMBRUST Solutions.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's a wonderful product. I mean, it's an absolute wonderful product. I'm so grateful that I heard about it. Yeah. And at first I didn't take it faithfully. I'd forget. And then I'd say about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I really started taking it right. And what a difference. What a difference.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher and Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, let's take another call here. Tom in Bolingbrook, a military veteran. Hi, Tom.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I was just saying, no one really, I've served 17 years and been through a number of my share of military funerals, and no one cares about getting a call from the president, regardless of who the president is. I myself don't know the history of how it came about. They're better off just sending a letter. No one wants to hear from them during their grieving time. They want to hear from the soldiers that their family members served with. That's the only thing that really matters to them.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Tom. And frankly, what Tom just said echoes exactly what General Kelly said on Thursday. Hearing from the men that his son served with about what a great soldier he was, what a great guy he was. Those are the calls that matter. That's exactly what General Kelly said. So appreciate that, Tom.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll switch gears and talk a little bit about how we can reverse the government takeover of health care with Philip Klein, managing editor of the Washington Examiner at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Rain and 51 degrees. Back and forth over President Trump's condolence call to the widow of one of the 4 U.S. soldiers killed in Niger continues. Maisha Johnson spoke to ABC's Good Morning America over the account of the call and says she felt the president had trouble remembering her husband's name. The president took to Twitter shortly after that interview, saying, "I had a very respectful conversation with the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson." Secretary of State Rex Tillerson telling Iranian-backed militias to get out of Iraq. Speaking in Saudi Arabia this morning, Tillerson saying any foreign fighters in Iraq need to go home and let the Iraqi people regain control of areas formerly controlled by ISIS. Army deserter Bo Bergdahl will soon learn his fate as the sentencing phase for his trial begins today in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Bergdahl has already pled guilty without any deal with the Army to limit his potential sentence. A man suspected of plotting an attack on a Miami shopping mall will make an initial court appearance today. Authorities say Vicente Solano was inspired by ISIS to set off bombs at the Dolphin Mall in Florida. 4 or 5 Wheaton College football players accused of hazing a teammate last year are due in a DuPage County courtroom later today. Chicago police are warning that skimming devices have been found on more than a dozen ATMs, most on the north side, 3 at Walgreens stores. And new testing benchmarks for Illinois high schools are prompting concern and confusion this morning. The Tribune was first to report the state is taking the unusual step of using scores from the SAT college entrance exam to judge whether students and their high schools are meeting state standards in reading, writing, and math. Bears over the Panthers 17-3 on Sunday. That other football, Dynamo over the Fire in the regular season finale of MLS, 3-0. Bulls back on the road tomorrow night facing the Cavaliers. Blackhawks in Las Vegas, and the World Series kicks off tomorrow night. The news, a service of Audible.com. Audible turns traffic into an escape. Mysteries, sci-fi, bestsellers, and motivation. Ride with Audible and transform your commute with an unbeatable selection of audiobooks. Start a 30-day trial and your first one is free. Go to audible.com. 8:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The private bank is now CIBC. Their name may have changed, but their commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit CIBC.com/US, member FDIC.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It is 8:35. Let's get an update on the roads and in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Cars are packed like sardines on the inbound Kennedy from Nagel to the Burn Circle. It is an hour and a half from O'Hare to downtown. An hour and 3 minutes from Montrose, 47 minutes in the Express, outbound 57 minutes to O'Hare. Edens, 30 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 39. The Eisenhower from Thorndale to the post office, looking at an hour and 12 minutes, outbound an hour 13. Stevenson, an hour and 19 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 48 minutes. Ryan, 37 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 24. I-57, Bishop Ford, 47 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, jammed Foster to Chicago Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Balbo. Heavy on the southbound Tri-State 120 to the Lake Forest Oasis and Gulf to the Adams Tollway. Northbound 115th to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Toohey Toll Plaza. This one Adams Tollway delays 59 to Barrington, Des Plaines Oasis to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway, Farnsworth to 53 and 22nd, most of the way to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial from I-55, most of the way to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Little rain this morning. More showers kick up this afternoon with a high near 60 and a low of 44 overnight. Currently 51. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldstone Financial, helping you become financially independent at goldstonefinancialgroup.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The wonders of government, right? Those who possess the secret knowledge, those central planners who know what's best for you, and you will comply. How about when it comes to your access of healthcare services? The National Healthcare Service in the UK, NICE, I love that acronym, that Orwellian acronym, will ban patients from surgery indefinitely unless they lose weight or quit smoking. New restrictions promoted that would eliminate access to non-urgent surgery for obese patients as well as for smokers. Obese patients would have to reduce their weight, except in extraordinary circumstances. and smokers would be referred for operations only if after they've stopped smoking for at least 8 weeks. That's government rationing. So,
Wow.
what do you think? You like
what are
that?
the special cases where if you could keep your obesity?
I'm sure case-by-case basis. I'm
If
sure
you-
it would be like an existential threat to
Yeah.
your life. You know, you're having a heart attack or a stroke or something like this. But the point is, this false choice that's presented by the commissars like Comrade Bernie and other proponents of single-payer, like the entire Democrat Party, who a world without rationing, that's when government is in charge, right? Wrong. So foreshadowing of what's to come in this country if Republicans can't get their act together and start to walk back from the backdoor takeover of health care through the health insurance market via Obamacare. For more on how we can walk that back, we're pleased to be joined by Philip Klein, the managing editor for the Washington Examiner and the author of Overcoming Obamacare, 3 Approaches to Reversing the Government Takeover of Healthcare. Philip, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So the 3 approaches for reversing the government takeover of health care, we can't seem to get any approach through the Republican-led Senate, but what do you think holds the most promise and is the most politically sellable of what you propose as the way back?
Well, I mean, the problem is that, I mean, my book was actually written about 2 years ago, anticipating that Republicans could find themselves in control of government and in a position to deliver on their promises to repeal and replace. And when I wrote the book, I said, look, there are different visions for how to go about trying to repeal and replace Obamacare. And unless Republicans work out those differences now, then it's going to be a problem when they take power. And that's, unfortunately, I wish I were wrong in this case, but unfortunately that's exactly what happened. When they were out of power, they tried to do a lot of, score a lot of short-term messaging victories, and they didn't do the hard work of trying to overcome some of their differences on the specifics of healthcare. So it was always easier to just default to attacking Obamacare.
Well, right.
As a result, when they finally got in power, it was a complete mess because they had no plan and they had to essentially start from scratch. And you had to try in the Senate to try to come up with some compromise when you have a caucus that ideologically stretches from Susan Collins, who's basically a Democrat, to Rand Paul.
Well, I know where we are, but President Trump, in his interview with Maria Bartiromo over the weekend, suggested again that he still thinks that replace of Obamacare, replace kind of in quotation marks, something on the order of Graham Cassidy will get out of the Senate and get to his desk. Maybe he's being overly optimistic, but that's what he's saying. And so is something like Graham Cassidy on the substance of it, the block granting of Medicaid funds and the like, is that the beginnings of the way back from this backdoor takeover?
I mean, I think it's difficult because the problem is that in Graham Cassidy, the whole question, the way I sort of judge these plans that talk about giving states flexibility is sort of under a given plan. If a state wanted to pursue a real free market approach, would they have the option to? And I think, unfortunately, under Graham Cassidy, and certainly under any version of Graham Cassidy that might be able to make it through the Senate, the answer is probably no, just because it keeps so many of Obamacare's regulations on the board at the national level that it's hard for states to have enough wiggle room and latitude to really move into a free market direction. So the question you're asking, turns out to be, is it marginally better than Obamacare? Maybe, and that's something where the argument is, but let's not kid ourselves into thinking that this would be real repeal and replace. It would be more of a reform of Obamacare. So when you sort of say, well, what's a good plan that could get through Congress? It sort of suggests that it's sort of like saying, I feel like you're asking me, like, I'm a doctor, and why don't you operate on this dead patient? Because it's sort of like there are plenty of ideas that I could conceive of that would be good, but it seems like John McCain and Susan Collins and Murkowski and others are just in the mood to vote down anything and constantly move the goalposts.
And the cost-sharing subsidies that Trump rescinded, and he's not necessarily signed on to Lamar Alexander's resuscitation of them. That doesn't change the political dynamic at all to get some of them to move?
I don't really think so. The Democrats certainly are willing to perfectly happy if things blow up and they can just blame Trump for Obamacare's failures and for any collapse in the insurance markets that's sort of reinforced or accelerated by not funding the payments. And so I think that you're not going to really get Democratic buy-in, and they can't pass it at this point without Democrats because they can't use reconciliation anymore.
What would it do?
Which is the procedure that, would have enabled them to pass something with a simple majority.
Was there any aspect of the Graham Cassidy bill that you liked?
I mean, I think that the theory, the concept behind trying to say, okay, let's turn this over to the states and give them money and give them the ability to design the healthcare systems that fit their particular, the ideological and cultural sensibilities of a given state, I think that's good conceptually. My questions were really about whether or not in practice it could give those states the type of flexibility that they need.
Yeah, and Republicans are in a real trick bag because unless they have other accomplishments to point to, the idea of going into the 2018 cycle, even with these Democrats in red states, saying, well, I know we told you we needed control of the Senate, but what we really need is 60. So if you give us those +8 that we need to knock out the likes of Joe Donnelly and Heidi Heitkamp and Joe Manchin and so on, then we get to 60, then we have more of a margin for error with respect to the Susan Collinses and the Lisa Murkowskis of the world. That's a pretty difficult election year argument to make, I think.
Yeah, especially when you have sort of Steve Bannon and people like him trying to agitate and make the argument against leadership. This is sort of a classic example. Republicans have been arguing for 7 years that they're going to repeal and replace Obamacare, and then given the chance, they can't get the job done. And the problem with Republicans is, though, defenders of leadership will say, look, we have a fractured caucus and it's only a majority of 52, right? But the problem is when they're running for office, they don't have all these caveats, right?
Yes.
They run for office in 2010 and say, elect us and we'll repeal Obamacare. Then after they get elected and they take over the House, they say, oh, well, really, we need the Senate too. And then they take over the Senate and they say, well, as long as Obama's here, we can't do it. We need a Republican. So then you give them a Republican and say, oh, we need 60 votes. I mean, at some point, this sort of strategy of promising the moon when you're running for office and then all of a sudden saying, well, we have to think practically and understand our limitations once we're in office. They're not during campaigns talking about the limitations of running for office, of what they can do once elected.
Yeah, I mean, it's exhausting just to hear it, much less to experience it. Philip Klein, managing editor for the Washington Examiner. He's the author of the book. Maybe if we do get to 60, some of his ideas could be implemented. Overcoming Obamacare, 3 approaches to reversing the government takeover of healthcare. Philip, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer.
What happens when you quit showering? Talk to somebody who knows, Amy Jacobson. Oh. I'm not you, because you work with me, I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be giving me
no I'm not talking about
there.
you, no.
No hepe. That's what happens when you don't shower, but the real other reasons. Today, plenty of rain on and off throughout the day. It's We're in for a reality, folks. No more highs in the upper 70s and sunshine. This is real. We're getting real this week. A high today of 60. Then tomorrow, the highs in the upper 40s. Still a chance of rain. And on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, breezy, a shower in spots, a high of just 53. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Well, the commute will prepare you for the winter snow today. The Kennedy inbound. Your delay is starting at Nagel. It's an hour and 18 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. That's actually an improvement over where it was a few minutes ago. 51 minutes from Montrose, 43 in the Express. Outbound 57 to the airport. Eden's 30 minutes still. Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 39. The Eisenhower's an hour and 12 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound an hour 13. Stevenson an hour and 26 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 46 minutes. Ryan 35 minutes. 95th to downtown. Outbound 24. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, delays Foster to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Balboa. Tollways are still heavy. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile Premium Device Protection as of July 12, 2017. SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I used to take 7 vitamin supplements, and I still felt sluggish at times. But with Balance of Nature, I don't feel sluggish at all. Don't do what I did. I took 7 different supplements, vitamin supplements, and they really didn't help in the long run. I still felt sluggish. But with Balance Nature, I have the extra boost of energy, and I thank you all again. I really, really mean it.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIN.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Hi, I'm Todd Pals, owner of Homewood Bat Company, a top-quality baseball bat made right here in the Chicagoland area. Homewood Bat Company is all about using the best in materials and craftsmanship to create a truly remarkable baseball bat. I've been a client of Precision Payroll for a number of years, and when I started the Homewood Bat Company, I wanted them on my team. From working with me when I had 1,200 employees at another company, and now with less than 50, their service has been exceptional and their value is unrivaled. You want more runs in the game? Give Homewood Bat Company a look. You need a home run for your business? Precision Payroll should be the next call you make.
Thank you, Todd. It is so cool to see you make Americana. Precision Payroll would like to go to bat for you. Call me at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or on the web at precisionpayroll.com.
Confidence. Do you have it? Dr. Elizabeth Shake wants to help you find your confidence. Confidence is what you feel when you know your teeth are white, your gums healthy, and your breath fresh. And that confidence shows in your smile and the way you relate to your family, friends, and coworkers. That's why after a cleaning, a whitening treatment, or a dental procedure, Walden Square Dental Care wants to see you feeling happy and confident when you leave their office. Dr. Elizabeth and her team from Walden Square Dental Care will do whatever they can to make you feel comfortable. Your health and well-being is their priority. Plus, all your concerns will be addressed, from dental procedures to dental billing, and the result is your fresh, confident, beautiful smile.
Walden Square Dental Care, serving Grayslake, Gurnee, and Libertyville. Your complete family dental care practice. Visit waldensquaredental.com or for an appointment, call 847-223-0110. That's 847-223-0110.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing much more than just a rate. Let me ask you, does calling the company with the best client service in America, with 11 J.D. Power Awards to prove it, matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative, client-focused technology, matter? Does calling the company with 17,000-plus team members who are helping to rebuild the great cities of Detroit and Cleveland matter? Of course it matters. No wonder our clients have made Quicken Loans America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, a first-person account of what it's like to work with someone who doesn't shower. Amy's going to provide it. James Hamblin has the science behind it in The Atlantic. He's somebody that I'm taking instruction from as a non-showerer.
Why don't you shower, Dan?
Because it's wasting time. As Mr. Hamblin points out, if you spend 20 minutes per day washing and moisturizing your skin and hair, that adds up to nearly 2 years of washing.
Wait, if you do what to who?
20 minutes per day washing and moisturizing your skin and hair, that adds up to 2 years of your life just washing. I mean, who's got that kind of time? And I could be being so much more productive. But here's the thing. Do you end up kind of sticking up the joint? Good question. Do I?
I can tell you this because we're in the tree of trust, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the cigar smell is a little much for me. So you might want to have a smoking jacket where you just wear that and then
absorb it.
Leave that at home. I mean, honestly, one time I borrowed Sean from Elmwood Park. I borrowed a sweatshirt from his car, and I literally could not breathe because it reeked of cigar smoke.
Yeah, but
that was in his trunk.
But it reeks so good.
No, there was nothing good about that.
That's a great contact, not really high, but contact experience.
So how many, Peyton and Eli, making them shower? Well, Peyton, he's got to shower twice a day.
Don't do it. They should be hitting their studies instead of showering.
Hitting the books? Really? Yeah. Okay.
So the idea goes that your ecosystem reaches a steady state and you stop smelling bad at a certain point in time.
You do?
The author says, you don't smell like rosewater or Axe body spray, but you don't smell like BO either. You just smell like a human. It's the evolutionary aspect of it. So, why need to be constantly cleaning and moisturizing. And
So you're saying we should just let it go?
Yeah, just let it go. Stop
keep it
wasting
real.
time in the shower, is my point. Look, he's done the test. He's done a lot of the work here. James Hamblin, who writes in The Atlantic on this. In the course of meeting people, thinking more about skin microbes, which keeps me up at night, started using less soap and less shampoo, less deodorant, showering less. I went from every day to every other day to every 3, and now I've pretty much stopped altogether. He did smell bad at first, but then, his body evolved to this steady state, and he asked people, and they say, no, he doesn't smell, which I think they're just being polite.
Are you done?
Look at all the free time he's got, though.
Now I feel like I need to go shower. But thank you.
After this segment, yes.
Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for Justin Kosick's fine work as our technical director, and Keith Conn.